Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum.
Hello,
shit,
everyone, I guess.
Hello.
We should actually talk.
No.
Well, no, we should just let Squee sing.
I
Whatever.
need to get a tweet ready. Dang it.
We are
Yeah, tweet.
we are
You sloop.
going to do this entire session in mime.
Oh.
Hey, you broke it. Okay, we can't do the session of mime anymore. Thanks, Mackenzie.
Cancelled!
Jesus.
Also made noise.
We
Fucking
practiced for days.
Where the fuck was I?
You were obviously asleep or in school.
Sweet.
Probably both.
I mean, I slept through school today, so.
Exactly. It was today. I got nothing. I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Right.
Welcome back, everyone, to 3 Galaxies. Sorry about last week. I had work get in the way, unfortunately, but not this week. Haha.
Fuck you, work.
Yeah. Fuck you, work. But we are back, and we're going to start the session off kind of with the ball in your court. You guys have a big decision to make. So last session, you were able to track down and daringly rescue Hart. You got her back on the ship. You found out that I'm not going to make light of the situation. She had her arms removed and replaced with mechanical limbs. But she is alive and stable, and Isaac has healed her up as much as physically possible. Basically, at this point in time, she is healed. She is just physically exhausted. And you guys are on the ship. Headed back to I believe you actually got back to the Second Chance.
We did. Yeah, so she's on the ship, our ship, yeah.
And I gotta ask you guys, what's your next move?
Well, I think, now stop me if I'm wrong, fellow players, but I think it would make sense for us to get to once we know Hart is okay and safe, and Isaac would return and letting us know that, we, along with Cyber 6 and the rest of our NPC companions, would have a little powwow, have a little get-together, and decide what we want to do next, and voice our opinions on what we think we should do. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Okay, all right. So, is it all right if Xavier got the ball rolling in regards to that?
Go for it.
Okay. So, Xavier would take a look at Isaac and say, is she going to be all right?
I think she is going to be all right, but it's going to be weird for a little bit. She lost both of her arms, and not only that, there was no sedatives or anything.
Oh. Xavier winces. Okay. Well, I'm very glad she's back, and I'm glad we managed to get back, all of us safe and sound. Now the question is, what we want to do from here. One option is to go after Cyber 4. The other option... Hello? Oh, God.
Yes? Yeah, no, we can hear you.
We hear you.
But someone dropped out of the call, so I thought it was me. Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right.
No.
Okay.
No.
One option is to go after Cyber 4. Another option that we can do is also help these people with their ethical dilemma in regards to their true ancestors and what they've been doing to them and all that we've been made aware of. This big secret that's been brewing underneath your society, Xavier says as he looks over towards Cyber 6. Or, Xavier says, we can go home. My suggestion, and we've always done this ever since the Second Chance was the Starluck, and even before then, was that all of us take it down to a vote and we go with it. And my suggestion is that there's no profit in revenge. We have nothing to gain in killing Cyber 4, and we have everything to lose. We could die, the ship could go down, we could be trapped, and we could lose everything we fought for. In addition, I don't think helping them with their moral crisis is something that we should do. I am a simple smuggler, and we've gone on some grand adventures, and I'm sure we're going to go on more again. But it is not our place to go into a society and tell them how they should run things. If they have a moral quandary, if they have soul searching to do, it's up to them. So my vote, my suggestion, is that we all just pack up, we go home with our mercenary army, we go home with our Corsairs friends, and everyone is safe and sound, as safe as they can be, as Xavier looks once again sympathetically towards Isaac. I understand that's not everyone's perspective, but that's mine. The floor is open to anyone else.
I agree with you. There's no way this will be an easy fight, and I am no condition right now to continue on fighting, at least not against Cyber 4. But the longer we stay here, the more risk we are.
Lucas, from a slouching position, just kind of goes, "You guys, come on now, okay." And he then gets up on a seat. Right, two things. Here's the benefit of the two things. One, so if we do go in there and we beat down this thing, I'm sure there's no particular monetary reward. I'm sure we're going to be putting our lives on the line for pretty much nothing. But this is what I live for. These are the things that I love to do, is go into these particular situations, go into a clear... Look at that freaking big just needle of evil out there, and just topple that thing over. And if you guys are not up for that, that's fine. But I cannot leave this I cannot just up and just without a word leave the situation as it is. We have to do something else. We can't just leave that thing how do I put it? Leave that thing to fester. I feel like we need to do at least something, if not a head-on assault.
Okay. So your vote is to stop Cyber 4 in some manner, and also help with we'll call it the Cyber Conundrum?
He crosses his arms. I'm not quite sure about all the stuff that they've been asking us about, how they live their lives and if it's right or wrong to make more of them, because, look, as far as I'm concerned, this is something that is way above me, and I don't want to touch any of that, moral gray ground at the moment.
Okay.
But I do want to do something about
Cyber
this
4.
factory.
Factory, okay. All right.
The specific building that we just came out of.
Yeah, or 4. Or both.
In other words, come back and fuck with 4 in some way. Whether it be his factory or him personally or his army or don't go just yet, right?
I'm having bad vibes about this. I think we need to do something.
Okay. All right. Okay. Fair enough. Say roll up to Kid and Isaac.
Would you like to go, Laura?
Kid has been listening very intently this whole time, and eventually says, very begrudgingly, just you make very good points.
Thank you.
We probably shouldn't kill him. However...
There we go. I was waiting for that, Xavier says with a smirk.
And they're quiet for a little bit longer, trying to think of the right words.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, they're just like, I just want him dead. I want him dead. He's done so much, and he's such a dick.
Okay.
We learned how to use words. Good job, kid.
Xavier
Expanding the vocabulary.
There we go. Dead because of dick. I mean, if there's any reason to kill a person, that's a pretty good one, I guess. Being a raging asshole that nearly killed our friends and permanently changed another one. Yeah, okay, I get it.
Besides, like, they... And they kind of, like, pull on their face a little bit in frustration and go, the people, they're doing the thing with the shells, and that's not good. You can't just do that to people. And he wants that. He's not gonna let that go. And I don't... They just kind of go silent after that.
Okay. Well, Isaac, what do you think? Be open and honest, my friend.
My opinion is very singular. I don't give a shit about Cyber 4. I don't give a shit about any of the other cybers. I just want to get Hart some help. I don't care where we go. I don't care what we do as long as she gets help and as long as we leave soon. Whether it's destroying this factory, whether it's screwing with Cyber 4, we do it, we get it done, we leave. If we leave now, I'm happy with that. If we want to destroy the factory, then we leave, and I'm happy with that. I don't want to spend another day on this damn place.
So if we're doing something, do it within the next 24 hours or leave.
Yes.
Now, I know this has been a lot for a good majority of you as he looks around to most of his teammates, looking at how they clearly have some emotional stakes in one way or another about this particular situation. Either being fed up or want murder.
Yeah.
I go, that's nice and all, but I am very curious on what you have to say as he points over to Cyber 6.
Oh, yeah.
Cyber 6 has been staring, like he's been, leaned up against the wall with his arms crossed like he usually does and his sombrero on, and he's been kind of had his head down towards the floor. He looks up and there's a long pause and he says, a few hundred years ago, I tried to make my companions see the sense in the wrongness of what they were doing. When they didn't see it, I did what I thought was best for my people. I launched a rebellion and got many people killed. And the one thing I realized is that the cybers are too stubborn or too set in their ways for me to change them. And the only way I could see to change the status quo would be to kill a lot of my people. So I left. As far as I'm concerned, I have a new family now, and it's not here. Let them deal with their own problems. I tried. I failed.
Xavier gives an understanding nod. Okay. How about a bit of compromise? It doesn't make everybody happy, but I can see one of two things we can do. I do think we should leave here in the next 24 hours. But maybe, Xavier says, tilting his head a little bit, buckling under the pressure. Maybe we can do something. Maybe it doesn't have to be grand or big, but something to severely undermine Cyber 4 and what he wants. And I can think of two things. Well, three things. Locating and terminating him, because I'm pretty sure Cyber 4 wants to keep on existing. And if we stop him from existing, I'm sure that'll piss him off quite a bit. Two, his little factory, his little army there, the spire that Lucas pointed out. We could topple that fucker like a giant tree. Or three, we could undermine the whole thing and get involved with this whole predecessor cloning transference thing and put a complete another end to that. That's what the rebels want, and that's what the Cyber 4 really doesn't want. So that would stick it to them quite a bit. Is everyone at least willing to buckle a little bit and say in the next 24 hours what will screw with Cyber 4 one way or another? Can we come to that agreement first?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I love
For
that.
sure. Okay, great. So now the only question is, what do we want to do?
Cyber 6 will raise his head up. I can tell you right now that getting to Cyber 4 himself would be an interesting feat. I'm willing to bet you've never seen him in person. Most people haven't, and
View screen.
He nods. Cyber 4 is as paranoid as he is intelligent.
Anna smirks.
Cyber 6 nods. I didn't say he was wise. But getting to Cyber 4, as I said, is definitely not impossible, but quite a feat.
That might be time consuming. Okay. All right.
Just a heads up if this does turn to fight. I'm bruised head to toe, and I can feel myself draining real fast. I don't know how much I can do.
Xavier gives a sympathetic look towards Anna. He says, you kicked some serious ass. And with all due respect, if I was a little bit of a better with a pilot, you wouldn't have had some of the earlier issues. If we get into this, I say the pilot's chair for the second chance is all yours, and it'll be my turn to risk my neck. Sound fair?
We'll see. I still have some fight. It's just not.
Oh, I'm not saying
My
you're.
best.
Xavier raises his hand, and I'm like, I never have, and I never will say you're defenseless. I'm just giving you the option, Anna. You're one hell of a pilot, as you and I have proven on a few occasions here already.
Yeah, if anything, I think we fucked with Cyber 4 enough to start the legend of the organic pilots.
Yeah, it's true. But, okay, Cyber 4 might be off the table unless we can come with one hell of a clever way to track that man down. I'm assuming the man can't be, or Cyber 4 can't be goaded out as much as that would be fun. And I'm sure he has a lot more experience with encrypting things that following him to a signal is equally tricky. Okay, so how about the other two options? This little spire factory, we've already assaulted it once. Do you think they'd expect the second assault so soon? Maybe, maybe not. Then, of course, there's the moral conundrum. So, Xavier says, the question really is, do we want a physical battle or a moral victory?
I don't know. I don't think we need to particularly, let's just say, hit this thing with like a stick until it falls.
Uh-huh.
Really, all we need to do is make it stop.
Yep.
And I can think of multiple ways of that happening.
Like?
Yeah.
Well, there is this whole thing about, as he points out to the other side, there's a lot of rubble around here, and I don't think that's just a coincidence.
You think it might be linked to all the lightning storms that are happening?
I mean, if we want a weapon, we have it right above us.
Xavier gives us a bit of a smirk. I like the way you think. I love out-of-the-box thinking.
They were really strong in energy. Weird way to word it, but
Really, if they could get energy from other places along this whole cyber world, these cyber spheres, They would, right? But they're rogue. They need their own external powerful energy. They're dependent on it. And although we can't stop the lightning from falling, he pauses for a moment. He looks to Lucas and Isaac and Kid, like, we can't, right? He looks at him. We can't make
Yeah, I was
the
gonna
lightning
say, you
stop.
don't look at the
No.
person with lightning.
No.
Nope, shaking head no.
Lucas goes,
Okay.
wait, I think I have something.
Really?
I
Xavier
might have
asks,
something too.
surprised.
I might have
Wait,
something
really?
too. Yeah.
You might have something too?
Face palm.
But Lucas, go first.
I think I have a weather dampening thing. Hey, give me a second.
Oh, right.
I see.
Yeah.
Cyber 6 would suddenly look up. Wait, but you guys already destroyed the lightning rod, right?
Yeah, but that can be
Yeah.
repaired. We're thinking
No.
of a more permanent.
Yeah,
can't be
I
repaired?
completely understand. I was just thinking that if the lightning rod's gone and the building's still standing, the lightning itself isn't going to be enough to fully get the job done.
Which means they have a secondary power source we would have to get rid of.
That or the structure's just too big to be taken out quickly with lightning.
Mhm.
I'm not sure, honestly. He kind of shrugs. Not an engineer.
Me neither, but if I know anything about... I know almost nothing about this, but let me just give you my idea.
Okay.
So, if it leveled a city, think about... That's kind of spread out everywhere. There's a big storm and it's kind of like all over in this area. What if we took all of the energy and funneled it towards the tower?
That's
Real
what
quick,
I was
so I'm
thinking
gonna-
too.
Just jump in as a GM because you guys would know this. The lightning wasn't what leveled this area. It was Cyber 6's rebellion that leveled this area.
Oh.
Yeah. The lightning is artificially generated specifically to power the sphere. And the sphere was built in this area because it was a wasteland.
The lightning is artificially generated?
Mm-hmm.
By what?
A storm is artificially created. Think of it. You ever in elementary school? You ever make one of those things in the Coke bottles to water your plants? Imagine that on an excessive level.
What if we fucked with that? Xavier asks. What if we just fuck with the lightning? We let all the liquid out of the bottle.
Well,
How feasible is that?
Xavier shrugs. We're just at the brainstorming side right now. But wait a second. Okay, out of character, Squee. Out of character.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't know what the hell you're talking
Oh.
about. Making about
It
Coke bottles
it might
and
be
making
a
storm?
southern thing.
Yeah,
So
how-
in elementary school, we used to do a project where we'd plant a pinto bean in the dirt, and
Okay.
we'd basically take a Coke bottle, cut the bottom off, put dirt in the bottom, put the pinto bean in the dirt, and then flip the Coke bottle upside down and put some water in it, and then the water would evaporate, condense on the bottle, and rain back down.
Oh, it's that life cycle thing.
Yeah, the life cycle thing.
Oh.
So basically,
a
they've
little
created
terrarium.
their own small water cycle in this area.
Oh,
where it
wait.
evaporates.
Oh, yeah. And by
storms.
this area, do you mean the tower and the destroyed stuff? Or are we talking about places like further out in like?
No, only in this 100 or so miles of
Specific
cubic
region?
wasteland. That's why it was built here.
Oh,
because it
that's
was a wasteland.
awesome. Oh, dudes, this is awesome. Okay, so this is some sort of artificial generated lightning storm that is only going to affect the tower, right?
yeah.
Correct.
So yeah, we just need to figure out a way just to make it to not lightning anymore. They generate it somehow, and Xavier's going to ask Cyber, and he's going to say, "How was this generated in the first place? Is there a machine? Is there a force at work here? How is this storm environment being artificially created?"
Well, Cyber 6 kind of thinks about it for a second. He goes, I'm not sure, but I think I know a place where you could find out.
Is it high security?
No, it's basically what your equivalent of a public library would be. I gotta imagine the blueprints of this entire place would be public record.
But we're also public enemy number one.
Well, but Cyber 4, I'm sure, and we still have our, Xavier says, we still have our armor that looks a lot like Cyber's. It passed Lucas and I off. Anyone can put that armor on and go to this public library.
Fair.
Indigo raises a hand and she goes, and don't forget, we still have, if we don't mind spending the money, an entire light frigate at our disposal.
That's true.
Light frigates can make big holes, Xavier says
They
with a
can.
bit of a smile.
And we might need it because we only have 4 missiles left.
God, and Xavier says, wouldn't that be perfect if we can, and I know it's a big if, but if we can screw with their lightning and make it so it can't be generated again, if we contaminate it somehow, where it's a permanent change, they're not going to see that coming. Cyber 4 is probably going from safe house to safe house. They're probably trying to protect their stupid fucking tower, but they would not think that we would be able to screw with their goddamn power source.
Let me say my idea that I had a long time ago.
Sure.
Or a while ago. So we have somebody on the ship, and this is out of character. We have somebody on the ship who not only has experience building mechanical devices, but also infusing them with magic, but also a what
Oh yeah, didn't he change an entire world?
Yes, he changed the atmosphere of an entire world.
Terraform.
A terraforming. He made a terraforming device. Now, granted, there's no magic. We would have to supply the magic ourselves, the PP ourselves. But if we can make it small enough to just isolate it to this area, what if we could make a device to just get rid of all of the moisture of this area permanently?
And if it's a magic device, they don't understand magic.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it.
I have no idea where to start with it, though.
Okay, well, first of all, we need to know, he would need to know what he was manipulating, right?
Yes.
So my suggestion is we get God, what is his name? Caliphas? Cathor. Hey. Wait, I have to have that written down. Give me 2 seconds. 2 snaps? Oh my god.
2
I remember 2 snaps.
And Mookie.
Yeah.
John Omen. Odo Dewfoot. I have my name thing. Where is he? I have my triumph for it. I have Hart's real name now.
Never forget the
What's his name?
triumvirate.
Okay, wait, I gotta put this in then.
Sure.
Cathor.
Cathor.
There is some confusion if it's a K or a C. It is a K.
Oh, it's a C. Oh, I put it as a K.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it could be either. And it's not like I exactly put the name down anywhere in writing for you guys, so.
Yeah, true.
Okay, Cathor with a K. Yeah, it's Cathor with a K.
All right, so my suggestion is we give Cathor one of our suits, and someone else who is magically minded, Lucas, gets the other robot suit. We drop them off at this public library to find everything they can about what generates this lightning, right? And they can come back to us and see if there's a way that they can magically mess with it or not.
Yeah, and the best
Sound
part
fair?
is, when they get back to us, we could ask Hart her opinion too.
Sure, yeah, it'll give her some more time to recover as well. We'll have all of our magic and engineering. He pauses for a moment. Does anyone else have any sort of engineering background? Anna, I know you know machines pretty well.
Not engineering.
But not engineering. Okay,
And
fair
electronics, that's it.
enough. Okay, all right. But sound like a good step one for everyone?
Yes.
And hey, he looks over towards Kid. If we're lucky, part of this interfering might involve a big-ass explosion.
Maybe he's on life support and needs energy.
Cyber 6 would raise a hand. Pardon my naivete, but I've spent most of my time on Zebron. These lightning storms, what's the fuel for them?
What generates the lightning storm?
Right. What's creating the clouds that makes the lightning storm?
That's what we want to find out. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
but it's an atmosphere. I'm assuming it's an artificial atmosphere, and if it's an artificial atmosphere, it must be generated from something, right?
Well, yeah, my only point is that I know for a fact that things like water are incredibly, exceedingly rare among the Cyber Collective. We need excessively small amounts of it, and we're a damn Dyson sphere, not a planet. So, I mean, if they have this much liquid of whatever kind, it must have been exponentially expensive to gather.
True. Which means there might be a paper trail?
He shrugs. It's not like there's any planets nearby to mine resources.
Okay, Cyber.
Are you saying that we should steal water and that will give them a big blow?
Water? Yeah, I mean, if water is
or whatever
what
liquid is being used. Yeah, well, it is typically H2O.
I can tell you right now that if you find a way to get rid of all of this water, the chances of them finding enough of it anytime soon in the Dyson sphere, and he kind of spreads his arms wide. I mean, that's all there is. A giant blue sun in a Dyson sphere. Where are they going to get more water?
I don't think I've ever stolen a storm before. I kind of like it.
Make a little storm
that
in a
sounds
bottle.
fun.
Do you think, Xavier says, we could create some sort of vacuum that just sucks up all the water? I mean, we would have the storage space. I was assuming we could convert our interdimensional cargo bay into storing it. Right?
Maybe
we don't need to research. Maybe we just need to make a big-ass vacuum.
Well, we still need to figure out where it is.
See, the thing is, we also, don't forget, we have a portal to water something. So if we could rig a vacuum and just have it go to this place that's full of water, it's just adding water to there. If it is made of water.
You see Cathor just grinning.
Oh, I like that grin.
He's like, I've never considered it, but opening a portal to a pocket dimension that is a form of a vacuum should be fairly simple if you have the right device and technology. Hell, cap it off. You could even open it again and release it at a point of your choosing, though I imagine such a thing would have to be handled very carefully.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Oh, so use like a magic vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine an endless water bottle, if you will.
Could we flood the area and give them too much water? No, that won't help.
It's salt water.
Cathor points towards the bathroom. Well, I do believe there is plenty of water available.
Yeah.
Okay, Xavier says, but that might... You're talking about the tear between our dimension that's under the sea somewhere.
Yeah, but that is a good point. What if we were to flip this whole idea? So this whole idea is based on the fact that this is it is water, it's generating a storm, but if you add more water, if you add more liquid, then it might create a bigger storm. It might create a bigger lightning storm.
And we might throw it off the... We might give them too
make
much.
A superstorm. Yep. And destroy the facility naturally. Just by giving them more of what they wanted.
Xavier gives a big smile. Now that is even better. But, okay, how feasible is it? I wasn't here when you did this, thank goodness, because I would be shitting myself.
It was also the middle of the night.
Yeah.
It was also the middle of the night. Kid, you opened a tear and a bunch of water came in on the dimension part of the ship?
Kid raises a hand, paw, whatever, and goes, no, I closed it. I wasn't there when it started spitting out water. And they point to Lucas and goes, he was.
Okay, you two. So you opened it. I don't know why. How the hell did you close it? With all due respect, kid.
I used a door.
Can you stop talking in riddles?
They're
what
not
door?
wrong.
Kit
No.
just held up the door.
From what I remember, dehinge the door and press it against the water.
What?
They held back an ocean with a stall door.
How
Yeah,
are
Kit
we
literally-
not dead? Asks Xavier. How are we not all dead?
I don't know either. I don't know.
Oh.
Because we're just at
Okay, is that door still there?
No.
No,
I-
Isaac, I'll let you know because you built it. You
Mhm.
technically built like a pseudo airlock just in case you ever wanted to go through the portal. You could, and I mean, I'm just gonna let you know, you could just open the door.
So
Yeah.
open up the airlock. We open up the cargo bay door. Make sure there's no one in between our bathroom and the fucking cargo bay, and then just let loose.
Essentially, yeah.
Fuck
And
it,
we-
let's do it right now.
Okay,
We're
so out
going
of
to
character,
water them?
out of character, we're essentially gonna take the second chance, go above or below the tower, and just piss on the tower.
Above. You're going above and we're going to piss on it.
Yeah.
No, why do we have to be near the tower? They're gonna shoot at us. Let's do it. This is from what did you say, like 100-mile area?
Yeah, 100-mile area.
Let's just go
and
70 miles away from it and just start dumping the water.
that's
and
true.
honestly, I didn't go into all the details, but you could certainly tell this area is rubble and slightly cratered because whatever did this to the area was a large, giant
So
explosion.
It would
So-
flow towards it.
Jesus, yeah, I didn't like include it in my description because at the time, not the most important, but I guess.
I like how complex it started to literally, let's just drop water on them.
Yeah.
Let's just drop a giant
Who
water
needs,
balloon.
who needs a library? Just piss on them.
I like how your pronunciation was so close to the Latin word for books.
Yeah. No, I said library because I wanted to be like Homer Simpson and not say the word right. It sounds stupid. Okay. Let's do this, Xavier says. Worst,
I love this.
it doesn't work and they just get more water, right? Then we'll go back to the drawing board.
It's true.
Lucas, stops for a moment. Does anybody know what we're entirely doing? As far as I
No.
can tell, we're giving them lots of water.
Xavier says, well, the idea is that the water that they have is sufficient for their atmospheric generators to create this amount of lightning, right? So if we give, it's almost like it's fuel, right? The water is its fuel and it's creating an output, which is lightning, right? So if we give it more fuel, we get bigger or more lightning that they maybe can't handle, especially now that they don't have a lightning rod.
I just never thought of water as fuel before.
Xavier shrugs and he says, I'm not a scientist, but I can follow the ABC logic here. And Cathor, this is feasible, right? You have a lot more understanding of manipulating environments thanks to, Cyrene and all that good stuff.
Cathar shrugs and he goes, well, this place has a small depression-like bowl. If you release enough water, you would just submerge the damn thing, and then it wouldn't matter if it lightninged or not. Though, as to the lightning itself, I suppose the amount of lightning would be totally dependent upon the amount of energy or heat. He kind of shrugs. You need two things, really, to create a water cycle. Water and heat. I imagine they have generators to regulate it. If there's too much water, he kind of shrugs. I'm not really sure.
And Squee,
So
or anyone could correct me if I'm wrong, because this is something Anna would know, but I don't sure. But it's like if there's so
Sure.
much water around, that will, and there's all of a sudden a lot of electricity. Hitting
Yeah.
them?
I mean, from what you saw of the building itself, if you submerge the building or even part of the building, that factory is screwed because the entire thing is run off of electricity.
Even with salt water, just to be sure.
I'm sorry?
Salt water, because it's the things to a saltwater thing, isn't it?
You would know, yeah. Kid would intimately know that this was salt water.
Yeah, and depending on how much salt is in it, salt water actually conducts a lot better.
Perfect. Even better. Like I said, this is stuff Anna would know, but I don't.
Oh, Cyber 4 is going to get so salty over this. Okay,
Actually,
so...
To go further in the point, salt is the only thing in water that conducts it. If you had completely distilled water, it would not conduct electricity.
Well, there you
Really?
go.
Oops, sorry.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know, right? It's a weird thing, but if you had completely distilled water, electricity would not be an issue. It's the salt within the water. Even tiny trace amounts is dangerous. So an ocean, just imagine.
So here's the best thing. Even if it doesn't generate enough, even if their heat generators don't generate enough heat to create more lightning, we could literally just submerge the entire complex.
Like my thinking about this, from what little I do know about weather and how water and electricity works, the building survives because it had a lightning rod. And, without the lightning rod, maybe it would be destroyed in time or not, who knows. But if the thing is covered in water, every time lightning hits, electricity will go throughout the entire... Exactly.
Yes.
And the water will conduct the electricity to every part of that tower, which is not designed for.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay. Fuck it. Yeah, let's do this.
I mean,
this is amazing.
My science could be wrong, but
hey, you're the GM. If you say it's going to work,
in this world.
That's what I say.
You are caught.
All right. This is a win-win situation. All we have to do is open up our hatch that Isaac thankfully made. It's no longer just a stall door.
All right, there's a robot army. What do we do? Open up an ocean and just leak on them.
I will say, as a GM, when you guys solved the water door and made a little portal to an ocean, I thought to myself, somehow, someday,
we're gonna use this.
We're gonna use this.
Mm-hmm.
Today is that day. All right, so Xavier's gonna head to the cockpit, and we want to make sure every single NPC on the ship knows to go into their own rooms, go someplace sealed, far away from the bathroom and the cargo bay door and everywhere in between. And we're going to need a volunteer to stay by the airlock so they can close it, unless, Isaac, you rigged it up that it can be closed with a button at the cockpit or another area of the ship.
Well, see, here's the thing. We got 2 drones while you were not here.
Oh.
So...
We've had robots this entire time?
Yeah, little fly drones. Hovering drones. Yeah.
Okay.
Think of them as little scutters.
Yeah, I know.
Red Dwarf.
Scutters. Well,
yeah.
Okay.
So they could punch in a code and turn it on.
Correct. Now, the only thing... I'm looking at the ship... I moved you guys to the ship interior. So the only thing that you would have difficulty with... And Isaac, you're an engineer, so I'm not going to make you roll for this or not.
Oh, no.
You'd have to get the water... So the water comes out this way, right? Oops. Yeah. Hang on. Let me get the ruler. Yeah, so it comes out this way. You would have to get it to go up to these holes, and then once they get down the holes, as long as you tilt the ship back, it'll just run right out the...
Okay, well, we can tilt the ship. So can't we tilt the ship up and forward, like in this this direction at an angle, and it would be going up and over?
The thing is that the only complication that I see is that at the start, water would have to go this way, and then it would have to go this way. But
what I could hook up is just have this whole thing flood this whole bathroom. So this is going to be completely flooded with water. But then hook up like a hose the size of the door and just connect it to here.
Just connect it to the...
Yeah, and so that it will forcibly
do we have a hose?
And down.
Also, it has to be a big ass hose, because we can't. Because if it's just going to be a garden hose, we're going to be here all goddamn day.
I can fabricate something. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well,
we have MDC materials.
Cyber 6 shrugs. Mackenzie, can't you just make force fields?
You mean Anna?
I can make a semicircle. Why would I be making a force field? Can you not hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
You're confusing me on so many fronts right now.
Okay.
Cyber shrugs. I just thought you needed a wall.
Yeah.
Wait. Do we have a room of 30 clacking teeth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Yeah, that happened.
Jesus Christ,
So-
this is the first time I've seen our goddamn ship since I've been back.
Inferno, that's right. You don't know about the play. You don't know about the play.
Yes.
Did you give them little wings?
Oh my
Okay, there's a play that was made by Cyber 6. Or not Cyber 6,
Okay,
by Quicksilver. by
Another
Quicksilver.
time.
Yes, another time.
Where's
So-
my room? I don't have my room anymore. I have to get a new
your room should be on the right-hand side, or is it the left-hand side?
No, that was like we got the ship right as you left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You pick a room.
Yeah, pick a room. Any room.
Just pick an open room and you're good.
Okay, well, we'll worry about that a little bit later.
So what
But-
Cyber 6 was suggesting was for Anna to just make a force field connecting these two places.
It's not going to be a straight line, but I think I can if
Oh,
we
you're
allows
pretty
it to
weak.
go up against. Well, no, force field. I can do it. I just can't do too many things at once. Was more what I was implying.
So, okay, as far as I understand, the force field's mega damage, right?
Yee.
All right, so if you made a force field, for example, if you made a force field that just did like this, and then you just flooded the whole area, how long
it's
does
just
your force
because
field
it's a
last?
semicircle. A while.
See, I
Yeah.
think this armory and fabrication
100
workshop
minutes.
looks a lot better. 100 minutes? Oh, that's pretty long.
Yeah, it costs 30 ISB. I have 78.
I could also have you wear the crystalline helmet and have the cost of that.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll give her the Magneto helmet, and then that'll be easier. Okay,
So then just ban-
that's something we can do right away. I'm fine with that.
And then let
Yeah,
it
that's
flood.
instant.
It floods all the way over to here, and this is the next place to go. It goes down to here.
What are we gonna
It
do with our
floods down.
wormy buddy? Because our demon friend is in the necklace.
We might need to leave the worm back at the resistance base for now. And then go back to the resistance base. Or let our demon buddy roam around the ship.
Nope.
No,
Fuck that shit.
no.
Yeah,
Well, we can
exactly.
also hey Rael, sit on the edge of this
Rael.
crater for 20 minutes.
Oh, what you mean, like have him be on the catwalk or something?
Oh,
Oh,
that's not what I
you
meant. But
Oh,
Can we?
I because
Oh,
you
he-
said sit
Can
around.
he be on the
Whoops.
can he be on the catwalk? Can he wrap his ass around the catwalk?
I mean, yeah, he'd be a little squished, but not. He could definitely do it. He's a
All right.
flipping snake.
It's only
Yeah.
gonna be for a while. Yeah. Okay.
that's better. I meant outside.
Well, that's even better though if he's still inside the ship.
Yeah,
and
I'd
just
rather
make
be
a
still in the
speedy
ship.
getaway. Yeah.
I mean, hang on.
Do
Let's
this.
see here.
Let's do this.
This is. Oh yeah, he's I think 20 feet wide. This is 18 feet wide, so he'd be a little squished, but not to the point where it would hurt him.
He's a gummy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
everything
as I
he's
said
got.
before, this catwalk isn't open. It's got a railing, but it's open for the most part. So I mean, yeah, he could do that.
Sweet.
Okay.
Done. All right. So yeah, we're gonna make sure we're gonna give Anna the crystalline helmet. We're gonna make sure everyone's in place, including Rael, right out of the way, and then on the signal, we're gonna have the drone open up the bathroom airlock. I can't believe I said that fucking word. Anna's gonna start her force field. I'll pilot the ship, I guess, and tilt it the way it needs to be tilted. And we're gonna give them so much water, they're gonna know what not know what to do with.
The ship
Okay.
starts peeing.
Yeah.
One thing. Anna's gonna run around and shut all the freaking doors.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that was-
we shut all the airlocks and all of that.
And kid's door.
Yeah.
The reason I'm bitter about this is kid's door was open when the ship flooded and Anna's computer got destroyed.
I'm
man.
curious as a GM. Did you guys keep the door kid used to close the hole? Is that
Oh.
door thrown away? Did you memorialize it
kept it.
somewhere? I mean,
We kept it.
Memorialize it.
It's just in the mess hall.
I mean, it was initially welded to the wall,
hmm
so.
But Isaac
I'm-
would have removed it. So
I would have kept it. So let's just say it's in the fabrication workshop.
All right.
Oh, I like to hang up in the mess hall.
Oh, we
Aw.
could do that. Just have a random door with no insignia or anything.
Look,
just
we were on a
hanging
ship
there.
for 6 months.
Yeah, we were.
We had way too much free time.
Okay.
Well, all right. All right, Squee, let us know what you need from us.
I mean, well,
Otherwise, paint us a picture.
yeah. So the fun thing here is that I can't imagine any rolls that really need to be done. I mean, Isaac built a door that he can just open at will. You don't have to roll to make a force field, and keeping the ship tilted is such an easy task that you'd have to roll 100 to fail it. I mean, so
99.
yeah, a 99 to fail it. So I mean, I guess Xavier, go ahead and roll me a piloting check.
If I roll 99, I'm going to quit this game forever. Okay, good. I'm
Woo!
still. For a second, I was worried I was going to roll 99. I'm like, oh, I might have to quit this game forever.
So let me tell you guys a story.
Okay.
So about death.
Here's the one thing is that do you use one of the drones to open the door?
Yes.
Okay, that drone is gone. He's
going to be washed away.
Yeah. However,
They're free.
Poor Steve.
for the next for the next 4 hours, the water just flows from the ship at thousands of gallons per second. And Xavier, you can see on the sensors, everything seems to work fine. The ship is built out of mega damaged material. A little bit of water won't hurt it.
Yeah, it's gonna smell kind of like the bottom of a briny fucking sea
yeah,
for a while, but whatever.
it smells like everyone's at the beach, and it sounds like everyone's in a massive shower. Have you ever, I don't know, has anyone ever been to a water park and stood under like a pipe that's just pouring water? Not a shower, but just a torrential downpour of water around you?
Yeah.
Probably.
That is what it sounds like. Or it sounds like you're underneath a waterfall.
Yeah.
It continues on for 4 hours. There aren't any real problems to speak of. Ryle seems quite content to hang up on the banister and duck his head into the water whenever he sees something that looks tasty to try and grab it. Not very successful. But
oh no, he likes fish. Wait, I thought he just liked gummy fish.
No, regular fish.
Now?
He summons forth fish that have like rainbow scales, but like a rainbow trout would.
Fucking Ryle.
Like when
as
I
long
say
as he's
rainbow
happy.
scales.
As long as he's happy, he's gobbling up stuff as it passes on by. It'll probably be a quicker death than the lightning fry. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. They look
I don't know
like
what the inside of a gummy worm is like, but I'm assuming it'd be awful.
The fish looks something like this. I'll shoot you guys a picture real quick. It's actually a real fish called a rainbow trout. I used to catch them when I was a kid.
Man.
We got troots up here in Canada.
So that's basically what he summons, what it looks like. But he's not very successful at catching anything, but he seems to have a decent time of it. Over the next 4 hours, as water continues to pour out of the ship, the water levels rise in the 100-mile area, and eventually, when it reaches the lip of the depression, the bowl, over 5/6 of the spire is submerged in salt water. You notice that there are also creatures in this ocean that is lake, I guess, this lake that you have created. Anything that was small enough to fit in through the cargo bay door. A couple of things that weren't. You now have a few creatures that are quite dead in your cargo bay. That the largest one is probably about 30 feet wide and about 20 feet long.
Jesus.
So.
Nightmare fuel.
But luckily,
how did they get through the airlock?
Oh wait, that's a very good point. Never mind.
Only things as big as the airlock that gets through Squee.
Yeah, no, sure enough, my bad. You don't have dead things.
Oh.
I didn't want to clean that up.
That's what we got Ryle for.
So it doesn't even take the 4 hours for you to start to see an effect. The lightning storms are fairly constant in this area, which is the whole point of the setup they had there, which was that they were using the heat to create a water cycle that would create pinpoint lightning to generate the tower on a regular basis. Once water started filling the tower, without the lightning rod, which you've already destroyed, the tower itself no longer had a conductor. It was built of mega damage materials that could withstand lightning strikes, but the lightning itself did not have one path to the ground anymore. It would just strike the tower continuously. And once water started filling the tower, lightning would hit the water and would conduct throughout the entire tower. About 3 hours into your watering of this area, you start to hear several explosions.
Ooh.
As water and electricity begin to short out very sensitive and volatile energy collectors. You hear first a few small explosions, then a massive, giant explosion that rocks you as the tower itself is devastated by explosions. As it's literally like the equivalent of a massive cell phone battery, it explodes.
Neat.
Yeah. And with that, after about 4 hours, you filled up about as much water as you can, 100 or so cubic miles of ocean. And
organics.
With the wind that is generated here, it's starting to make small waves, and you can actually see on the distant shore waves starting to lap up onto the shore of your new lake. The thunderstorms continue as the heat itself seems to be generated from the blue sun or collectors of the blue sun. So you didn't destroy whatever it was that was generating the heat to cause these storms, but you certainly did destroy the whole
factory
point of the storm. Yes, the factory.
And the fact of it won't be able to be rebuilt now at all. This entire area is worse than a wasteland because you can't even build anything electric on it anymore.
Plus, that's salt water, and that's gonna rust. And
And here's another thing. Player. This is just a player observation. You know how we're like, oh, I don't know if I want to morally decide what happens to entire culture. We just affected 2 planet-like bodies. One, we've changed a large portion of one of these Dyson spheres into an ocean, something that they've never had before. 2, that world that our dimension is in is now 100 miles of water less.
Actually,
true.
I will say this: you will notice. You will notice, Isaac. It's probably the first one that would notice this. The water levels, as far as you can tell, on the other side of your door, do not appear to have diminished any noticeable amount, which means that the ocean on this world must be enormous. Well, I mean, and think of it this way. If you filled 100 miles square or 100-mile area of water from the Pacific Ocean, I mean, would you notice much of
be there?
Exactly. Yeah. So you do know for a fact now that wherever you are, it's a pretty large ocean.
And that is very terrifying.
Well,
that also
our airlock breaks.
Very good point. Actually, I should ask this: how you guys closing the door?
I don't know. I've been thinking this the entire time.
Figured we send in another.
So
good. How are you doing this, Lucas?
I'm sorry. I heard other people.
I had an idea, but I feel like yours would be more fun.
Because it's Lucas.
And I don't know if I
It's actually very straightforward.
I feel like you have more confidence too.
I had a lot of confidence driving too.
I was about to say, a famous man once said, "All skill is 90% confidence."
If only that's actually how the dice rolled.
Yeah, no way.
Was that person Leroy Jenkins?
No, that person was another character with a name that started with Z.
Anyways.
Zach.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead, Anna.
Lucas.
Oh,
What
alright.
about this?
Okay.
So I guess over the intercom, he goes, "Alright, so I gotta know a code to close this thing or whatever the flip I need to do, but general thing is I'm gonna try," and he really emphasizes the word try, to teleport in there and close the door.
Oh
Okay.
God.
Without being washed away beforehand. Hey,
Maybe we should
can
try
I get on
my
the
way.
radio and say, Rael, if you see a Lucas-shaped thing flow through through our cargo bay, can you scoop him up like a fish? But don't eat him, just scoop him up.
I can certainly try.
Okay. Okay, we have a
Lucas.
fallback plan. Otherwise,
Lucas.
Lucas is going to go on a wicket.
I'm here, yes.
Burn.
Here, and Isaac's gonna rush over to the armory really quick and bring back a set of armor. Wear this.
Can do.
Alright. See, the thing is, that's a set of bullfrog armor that is specifically designed to be in depths of up to like 300 meters and has a set, like, 24-hour air supply and all of that. It's designed to be in water. And you have increased speed in water and all of that. It's great. So,
When did you get that?
we got that on Center a long time ago. I just never used
wow.
it because we've never been in water, so...
What is the actual increased speed stat?
Let
'Cause
me
this could
look
be
it
important.
up. It's gonna take a couple of...
I like
Sure,
to think
sure,
we're
sure.
on the radio when Lucas is like, okay, I have an idea, I'm going to go in and do it, right? So I'm not metagaming when I ask Rael to... I'm assuming we're communicating with each other, even though we're on different locations of the ship.
I did this over radio.
Already. Okay, good.
All right. While Burns looking that up, Lucas, if you would attempt to teleport in there, my good man. Question, real quick, very important. Where are you standing when you start the teleport, and where are you aiming for?
I think I'd be in my room.
Okay.
I found it. So I was thinking of a different set of armor, the Mud Skipper. This set of armor is the Aquatic Bullfrog. It has a depth gauge, helmet spotlight of up to 100 feet, built-in radio about 5 miles, underwater, vital signs monitor, which has everything that can be beamed into any kind of pocket computer and whatnot, a vibro knife, and air tanks of 12 hours of air. Double if inactive or in very light activity. Maximum depth tolerance is 500 feet.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. So, Lucas, you're starting from your room. What is the spell you're using exactly?
It is called Quick Teleport.
Well, that's appropriate.
I believe that's the one that has a chance to not go where you want to go, correct?
Yes!
All right.
That's the one he used when
Yes!
the debacle first happened.
What's the
Smile.
maximum range of it?
It's got plenty of range.
Okay. Well then, sir, attempt to hit your target. Oh, where are you trying to? Point to. Are you just trying to get to the other side of the force field?
Oh.
And he wants to get right by where the airlock is,
Like
right?
right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. All right, sir.
So Anna's just watching him do this.
Make your roll.
Alright, let's Oh yeah, make that easy.
All right.
What was the percentage?
It's like I think at this point 90?
Yeah. It's at Lucas's level. It's not hard, but there's always a chance it
A
won't work.
failure. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and it's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So, Lucas, do you have the swim skill?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. No, Lucas,
for you,
I
Lucas.
freaking put everything into like physical anything.
Hey,
And
Opa.
what's your strength?
My strength is a 14.
Okay, that's still
No.
good. It's good, above average.
The armor doesn't give him additional
Oh,
strength or anything. It's not power armor, is it?
No,
It's not power armor.
Yes,
He gets a +6 to swimming speed while wearing the armor. That's where it was.
+6 to swimming speed. Okay. What I imagine that is that the suit has maybe some form
Oh,
of
it has fins.
locomotion.
It straight up has
Oh,
fins.
okay. So it has
Yeah.
fins. Okay. I'll just calculate that into the check. So basically, Lucas, I'm going to have you make a swimming check because water is currently rushing in
Yes.
and you're fighting against the current. It's a pretty powerful current. However, you're a swimmer, and you're not
You don't have that far to go.
unstrong. Yeah, you don't have far to go. You're fairly strong. You're in a suit with fins. Go ahead and roll me a swim check with a 15% penalty.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Okay. You are able to fight the current, and because you get there, and as you reach up to shut the switch, you can see through quite clearly. There is some very, very large sea creature that has been like pressed up against the side, filling up about half the hole. And it's too large for you to tell exactly what it is, but it looks like the part of it that's facing you is tons of tiny little suction cups.
Ugh. Ugh.
Ooh.
Creepy.
But you are able definitely to reach up, press the button, close the far side of the airlock, and then the forward side of the airlock. And then, what's your plan now? Because you know this is going to drain out. Are you just going to try and fight the current? Are you going to?
Oh, that's right.
It's
still moving, right?
Yeah.
You're still in the water.
I was like, I pressed the button.
onto
It should stop
something
now. Wait a second.
I guess you could grip onto something, Piph, and let it drain out.
Yeah, I might try to like swim to a. Actually, no. He's actually just gonna try to swim for exercise at this point.
Okay.
Oh, so just an invisible pool? Or infinity pool, sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Roll me a swim check. Only a -10 this time, because I imagine that the drag would be less now. You don't have the water gushing in; you just have it gushing out.
Yeah. It's just pulling me instead
He's
of
doing
shoving
this
me.
for funsies for exercise.
Anna's just shaking her head at you.
No, I can't see that. I love it.
Okay. Yeah. No,
That's
you have no
exercise.
trouble whatsoever. You get a decent workout as the water slowly tries to drain.
He does different positions.
Oh my god, backstroke.
It takes about 5 minutes or so for the water to fully drain. The noise finally stops for everyone in their rooms, and Lucas eventually, in about 5-6 minutes. I mean, everything's wet, but for the most part, the water is gone.
Yeah, okay. And I'll make sure to close the cargo bay door and straighten up the ship as well once the water's gone.
You'd probably think like Lucas might be tired of that. He actually like springs up and is like, "Oh, if we could do that again sometime."
And
then slaps a wet hand to Anna on her shoulder.
Anna's keeping the force field up.
You should try this sometime as he presses up against it.
I'm already from a coastal town. I'm good. I've done enough.
Fucking Piph, just pressing his face against the force field. Like
Oh, if
it's
he's
a
pressing his
piece of
face up,
glass.
that's when she's gonna drop it.
Yeah.
Hey guys!
He's not even gonna try to catch himself. He's just gonna fall.
roll me a sense of balance check.
No, he's not gonna try to.
Oh, he's not. Okay, yeah. So he just clunks onto the ground. Dunk.
Fucking Lucas.
Ow!
Hi. Good job.
Springs back up. You know. I'm sorry. Do you were from a coast town? Do you swim? Did you want to do this? As
no,
then
I'm
he
good.
starts shaking
I'm
like
good.
a dog.
I'm good. I'm just gonna enjoy the smell while it lasts.
You'll hear Xavier over the radio. You'll hear Cyber 6 over the radio. Do you want to do a flyby? Take a look at the results, or
Sure.
Fuck
Xavier
yeah, I saw
shows.
nothing.
Yeah, we'll do a quick flyby and take a point and laugh. And if it's okay with the rest of you, I think that is a high note for us to get the hell out of here and back towards Zeberon. Is that a okay? Oh, and Kid has a plus sign.
Kid will go to Cyber 6 and say, I think this might be an excellent thing to take a picture of.
Cyber 6 looks at Kid for a while, and then he nods and he says, yeah, I completely agree. And then he'll invite Kid to walk up with him to the cockpit.
Petty friends.
Petty? Oh, being petty. I get it. All right. Xavier
I
will
will
wait.
say. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say he will go to his room and grab his actual camera.
Yay.
Xavier will wait for everyone who's interested to head up over to the cockpit before he rights the ship and gets ready for a flyby or two. And he'll notice Kid and Lucas, and I'm assuming Anna's coming up too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Isaac. And then he'll notice Cyber 6. And he says, what is that in your hands?
It's a camera.
Oh, a vid camera?
No, still shots only. To
Still
be
shots.
honest, it's a bit silly. My body is already equipped with far better quality cameras, but something seems very human this way.
I see. Xavier pauses for a moment in a bit of narcissistic joy. He says, I could always just stick the second chance on a hover trajectory above what we just did, and we can all pose for a photo. Group photo?
Group photo! Yes! I love it!
Okay. Xavier
When all of
says.
us are just beat up.
Yeah, kind of. Except for me. I made it out okay.
Well, from the
Apparently
truck
Isaac
flipping.
isn't going to join us.
Oh yeah, the truck flipping. That's right. No, I got my face is a little bruised up. Yeah. Yeah, the truck flippage. Okay. Anyway, either
right.
way, it'll be a pose of victory, man. Pose of victory.
Is Isaac not going to join us for our victory selfie?
Well, actually, I'll address that right now. So, Isaac, you go back to Hart's room.
Mhm.
All right. So it's been 4 hours since you, give or take, since you put her to sleep. And when you come into the room, she kind of sleepily opens her eyes and she goes, "What was all that noise?"
Well, he's gonna sit down on the end of her bed. We kind of opened up the airlock in the bathroom and flooded the factory.
The factory? Oh,
Yeah, the place where we got you.
you mean in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh, but that with the light, oh, she says as it kind of dawns on her, and she goes, and for the first time since you've rescued her, she cracks a smile. Show me.
Do you want me to carry you, or do you want to walk?
She shakes her head and starts to stand up, and then sits back down and goes, yeah, okay, carry might be good.
Okay. He'll just pick her up and take her over to the cockpit.
All right.
Hey.
How are you? Piggyback style? Are you wedding style? What do you?
Wedding style until you get to the ladder, then piggyback, then back to wedding style.
All right. So she's light, of course. She's not very heavy. Her arms are a bit heavier than you used to, and of course, very cold to the touch, which is, I imagine, still very disconcerting.
Yeah.
But she drapes her arm around you. It's very clear that she is still very weak and very sleepy. But she comes up with you to the cockpit, and you guys would get there right about the time Xavier is talking about taking a photo.
Hey, perfect timing, you two. Come on, we're gonna do a group photo in front of this, so we have at least one good memory of this fucking hellscape. Xavier says with a bit of a grin, as he'll pilot the second chance over top where the tower was and give it a little bit tilt down, so we have a nice picturesque, view of the big ass view screen that we have. Of like the bottom half is like the flooded crater, and the other half is like the distance of the cyber world and stuff like that. And we'll strike a pose. How does Xavier want to pose?
Hart looks out
ooh.
and she goes, in swimsuit?
No, I think it'll take too long to get dressed into our swimwear. Also, I don't have swimwear. But I figured, I meant more like arrangement, where everyone wants to be and stuff like that.
She'll nod and then just kind of look down.
Their naked body. Yeah, but you got special fur. Xavier doesn't have special fur. Xavier just has normal fur. Anyway. I know. Xavier will stand next to his pilot buddy, Anna.
Okay.
Pilot drinking buddy.
Pilot drinking buddy. What? Don't okay. We're the best organic pilots around. If I had time to make a sign about that, I'd be holding that up.
So
instead,
go ahead.
I don't know. I just want to say Xavier will probably just pose like with like one hand like on his hip and the other one just by his side with like the cockiest, satisfied, like cat ate the canary smile on his face.
So you put the ship in hover mode, and I'd say it's fair to say that you put it in such a way that it's the viewport is angled down at the destruction. Is that what you're attempting to do? Because I assume you want the tower and the water and everything in the background.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
You do see when you come up on the tower, you see that the tower is technically still standing, but it has massive holes blown through it. It looks more like pieces of a tower. Exactly. It is definitely well and truly fucked. Excuse my French.
It's okay.
Don't care, you fucking swear.
And the water is starting to calm down. It's still obviously raining and lightning, and your ship does get hit a few times, but your ship's designed to deal with this level of lightning. It's not Cyrene, never was. Those standards. So you all Cyber 6 will set the camera for a delay, put it on a console somewhere where it can get everyone in shot. Is there anyone not going to pose in the picture?
No.
No, apparently.
No.
Rael.
All right then.
He's not going to pose.
Yeah, Rael can't make it up there.
Oh, wait a second. Is there like a fish flapping around on the decks anywhere? We should hold up someone should hold up a fish, and that'll be like Rael.
Yeah, I mean, there's bound to be at least a few in the cargo bay just kind of flapping on the floor.
Okay.
Kid can hold up the fish because they don't know how to pose for.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they would be like, just hold the fish.
Just a straight neutral stance.
Everyone's
holding up a
like
fish.
striking
Smiling.
poses, and they're just kind of like awkwardly like trying to position their arms, and finally someone's like, "Here, just hold a fish," and they're like, "Okay."
Please say kid is mid blank when this photo happens.
Or like Cyber 6 says cheese before it goes off. And like
And they just like blink, slightly turning to him like, "What?"
I love it.
That'd be great.
Oh my god. Oh,
So
I'm so glad I made this character.
the camera takes the picture, and Cyber 4 will show it to you all. It is a well done picture. The lighting is great. It gets a great shot of the destroyed tower, the floating debris, and the ocean behind you. You see Kid with their face kind of half into a what expression?
Mid-blink. It's like one of
Yeah.
those ugly cat photos.
Yeah.
Now I gotta Google ugly cat photos.
Oh my god.
But yeah, you guys have your picture.
Ugly cat pictures.
Most important. Much important. Let's go with the words.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with the chat on this one. Organics, since they have gotten here, have just done the craziest things.
Yep.
Made people play tag. Forced people to play tag.
Oh, we did do that.
Yeah.
We explained sex to them.
Twice, not just
also wore
once, but on 2 occasions, completely outclassed their pilots in insane ways.
Yeah.
Broke up their prison parade, took out their robot wolves, and now they have summoned a notion. Just a notion.
Hey, Lucas.
Which
You know, by
probably
any
took 10
chance-
years to make.
Oh, jeez. You know, by any chance, have something that will like leave color in the air when we fly away?
Just leave a trail of rainbow after us.
Exactly what I was thinking.
A rainbow. Piph, do you have rainbow magic? He has fart blossom, but that ain't no rainbow.
He's got
Leave
all-
contra lines.
Has like Lucas goes, I could, but it would be only for a short time.
How short?
Well, I got about 1,000 party poppers.
Oh my god.
We should just drop party poppers and fucking teeth in the water.
Not teeth. Not teeth.
Not teeth. No.
I
Very
could be
fine.
completely wrong on this. Didn't you teach Isaac how to change the color of things? Wasn't that a spell you taught him?
I'm thinking,
Yes. Alter physical color.
Yeah. So you could change the color of like water and stuff,
or fart
Oh my
blossom.
god, we could.
Mm-hmm.
or fart
Okay.
blossom.
Or fart blossom.
I don't know if
Alright.
it works on gas, but
Alright, Squee.
you could
Give me a
try.
couple
Yes.
minutes. I want
Sure.
to make a Techno-Wizard item.
Okay.
I want to make a grenade. Now,
Okay.
I
Oh
throw
my
the
god,
grenade
color
into the
blast
water,
grenade!
essentially, and it turns the water different colors. Can I do
Okay.
this?
Yeah, I like it.
Roll me a Techno Wizard. Your skill. No penalty or anything. It's a very simplistic device.
Techno-Wizard
so-
construction. Gotcha.
Yes, please.
Damn it! I failed by
Well, that doesn't mean you don't make it. But what you're gonna have to do is, so what happens is, because you were close, you make the grenade. I assume what you're gonna like put this in a bucket of water or a vat of water or something and try and change the color. What's your plan with it exactly?
My plan is to just open the airlock and throw the grenade into the ocean.
Okay. You open the airlock, you throw the grenade into the ocean, then you wait expectantly for a giant boom that you were hoping would spray colored water everywhere. Instead, it's like a bath bomb.
Yes!
It sticks into the water, and then you see color just spreading out.
That's great.
You don't have the explosion needed to shoot it up into the air, but hey, it's colorful.
Yes. There you go.
Alright.
It's like an oil slick.
Yeah, well, that's about right. We're the Galaxies equivalent of an oil slick, I like to think. All right.
Cyber 6 would lean down to Xavier and go, I mean, I know it's a bit of a waste, but a missile could really make that pop.
Xavier says, I am not wasting one of our precious missiles.
Like
But I
Cyber
am.
6 is like literally Cyber 6 is literally like elbowing Xavier.
Wow.
One sec.
Hey, ow, Xavier says, hold up a second. And then
How
he
high
pauses
can we
for a
be?
moment, and he looks to Cyber 6 sympathetically, and he'll say, will that make your day?
He looks over to Kid, who's been bouncing excitedly, and he goes, I think so.
What the fuck? We can always buy more missiles, Xavier says. As he says, fire in the hole! As he aims and fires a missile right where the goddamn color slick is.
There's a second or two, and then a gigantic boosh as a cloud of colorful water sprays into the air.
Anna just starts clapping.
Okay. Are we all good to take off now? I'm sure more sub will be on our asses pretty soon after all this.
Yeah, I guess I'm done.
All right, goodbye, shit.
It's just goodbye shit.
Oh my god, can I just say how much I love the fact that Cyber 6 just indulges Kid.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you hear us now?
Hi.
Hello, Mr. President. Okay.
So, Inferno, probably the best cutoff yet. You said goodbye, shit.
Goodbye, shit. I say goodbye, shitty world, but that works too. All right, so I can say goodbye, shitty world, and then I'm gonna communicate with, in case they're. I'm assuming the fighters that Wansuk and Charlotte were navigating have reattached to the ship by now.
Correct. Yeah, they are literally sitting. Oh my god, they've been sitting in their fighters on the outside of the ship for 4 hours.
Oh,
Just
great.
like, what the fuck are they doing?
Well, we'll explain that to them a little bit later on. Then I'm going to communicate with Prester's security force, Paxton, and the rest of his crew, right, to let them know. I know most of them are still away from the planet, but we still have that commando squad with us.
Correct.
I'm making sure everyone is together before we leave this Dyson sphere of a planet, reconvene with the main frigate, make sure Charlotte and Wansuk can get away from the fighter craft and, like, onto an actual ship, and then open a hole to Zeberon. And GTFO.
Actually, you will notice that maybe taking a cue from you, you would have seen, because the commando squad that was with you was in one of their hover type helicopters. They were actually on top of they had set it down on the water, which you didn't know. This thing apparently can float. Had set it down on top of the water. Were outside taking photos.
Oh,
Did we just kill them?
No.
It was after the water.
And then
Did
the
he say
missile
in that
exploded.
sentence and then they died? This was after the water, Mackenzie.
Things
Okay.
just got really dark. No,
And then I fired a missile at them because it would cheer Cyber 6 up. Like,
so speaking from personal experience as an infantry soldier, there's no way they would miss a photo op of something like this. You just summoned a damn ocean and they were a part of it. They're taking pictures.
Yeah.
They're holding up their
Guys,
weapons.
you won't believe.
they're called Operation Wet Work in the books.
No.
That's pretty good. That's real strong.
Thank you.
I mean, and from their point of view, I mean, they were just involved in a pretty severe battle. So
That's really.
so
All right,
you
sailors,
guys,
stop dancing. Let's go.
you guys then take off. Lucky for you, as always, this world is not really set up to monitor
Handle
radio
our shit.
waves
Yeah.
and things of that nature. So you are able to fly pretty unmolested all the way out of the panel.
I like not being molested.
And it takes about 4 hours to get back to where Paxton was waiting, because you had him waiting out there pretty far so that he wouldn't be spotted unless they got incredibly lucky. You managed to meet back up with them. They are still there. Yes, Kid.
Real quick question, refresh my memory, but did we already grab the ship that we stowed away from the orphans?
No, we still need to do that.
Nope.
Yeah. Alright. Making sure.
We
Because
can
we
make a
should
special
do
trip.
that on this trip, especially since I highly doubt we're going to be coming back.
Well,
No.
No. That was stashed not here, but
Right.
about 3 months ago
Correct.
on the journey. So
So
it's in a
this
different
is-
area.
a small complication is that your return trip home is through a temporal gate. Just basically, it's going to be a point jump back to Zebron, which means if you want to recover that ship. Now, the fun thing is you guys left a specific coordinates on your ship's computer so that if you wanted to, you can take another temporal gate to pop back over to it.
Yep.
So
But
it's a bit of a chore, but not a huge one.
But the temporal gates are going to be pretty restricted, right?
Correct.
We have the senator dude who's like, yo, I'll hook you up. The guy we're giving drugs to.
We got drugs for favors. That's true. We do have drugs for favors.
Oh man! And now you have a story to tell him when he's high.
That was.
Oh god!
We're supposed to make him stop his habit, and now we've just become his drug dealers. Jesus Christ, that's right. Yeah, anyway.
You just wait until he's high, and then he's like, and then we summon the notion.
But is the idea to go to Zebron first so we can give Hart some treatment with her arms, and then worry about getting another temporal gate by hook or by crook? I think get so. Whatever the fuck you're talking about. Once again, still catching up on all of this orphans and ship, and I know about the orphans, but I just didn't know ship or whatever. Anyway.
Yes.
Anyways.
I'm down for Zebron.
All right. I'll tell Preston that thankfully we've met all of our objectives, and there won't be need for his retainer force. And I'll guide him by our ship so we can all take the same temporal gate and get the hell out of here.
They are, they're more than ready to go. Sarah makes no bones that it has been incredibly boring up here, and she's glad that you're done. And so it takes about an hour or so to use the AAG to contact Zebron, get the gate ready to go. And with that, with very little fanfare, you guys start picking up your speed so that you make sure you're at full steam when the temporal gate opens. You fly through. And of course, as always with your ship now, when you fly through, your sensors pick up the turbulence, but of course you guys don't feel it where you are. Smooth sailing. And for the first time in, well, I guess 2 days, because you did just come back. I was going to say 6 months, but that's not true at all. And you guys reach Zebron.
Huzzah! With its hearts and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You guys get back to Zebron. You land in you land at Paxton Security. They allow you to use one of their landing pads because technically you're still under contract with them. And as you land, Prester Security, and Paxton would come out and come up to the ship and wait kind of by the ramp for you.
Okay.
And
eventually we'll emerge, or at least Xavier will.
As you emerge, he reaches up to shake your hand, and he says, well, I debriefed the commanders I sent with you. Looks like they had a very interesting experience or two.
Yes. Well, it was an interesting situation, and thankfully we got both of our friends back, so it was a gleaming success. And
Indeed.
I trust there were no casualties on your end?
Several injuries, but I'm sorry?
There was one.
Yeah. Yes, he goes, there were several injuries. One of them did not make it, but unfortunately it is a risk of the job and is included in the price. There won't be any addition for that.
Okay.
However, it is sometimes customary, I feel I must acknowledge, it is sometimes customary for contractors to include dispensation for the family, completely optional, of course.
How much dispensation are we talking about? What's average?
He shrugs. Usually between 50 to 100,000 credits. But
credits?
The good news.
I thought you had clicks.
Sorry, clicks. I'm trying to keep all these currencies.
No! You hang your head in shame. How dare you make a mistake, says the guy who made a serious mistake last week.
He says, however, since you ended up not really needing the bulk of our forces, a large amount of your deposit will be returning to you.
Mm-hmm. Good. We'll be needing some of that, but definitely not all. Let's be generous and go with the higher end of that. Return everything but 100,000 clicks for the additional reparations for the dead soldier.
Understood. So the deposit, I believe, and he kind of pulls out his computer, was 20 million clicks, 5 million for the forces you used, 100,000 for dispensation. So your total will come to 5,100,000. The rest will be deposited back into your account shortly. It has been interesting working with you. And if you ever need our services again, come find me personally.
Be sure to do so, Preston. A pleasure. Until next time.
He'll nod and he'll walk away. So whoever's keeping track of it, we all know it's Burn.
Yes.
Because you're so good at this. Basically, it is 14,900,000 back in your account.
Okay.
Which reminds me, is a good question. How much does that make from that's left over from the GoFundMe heart campaign?
Yeah.
Let me just check that because I've been keeping them separate.
Also, Kid, I did see the plus sign. What's up?
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Sorry. So yes, plus sign. I was going to say at the beginning, as Kid goes out, they're going to give Preston a fish.
It's Paxton.
No,
Preston
whatever.
Security Paxton. That's fine. He will nod. I mean, like I said, he's debriefed his men, so he's aware of what's happened. He finds it all highly amusing. So 21,121,000 is what's left in the fund. Now, I'm not saying like there aren't like lawyers waiting on the pad beating down your door or anything.
Shut up, lawyers. We got Xavier on the case. First thing we're going to do. First thing I say we do with this 21 million and change is we find the best cyber doc or cyber surgeon or plastic surgeon, or wherever they call themselves on Zeberon. We find the best. And we find the best organic clone replacements. We find the best hospital that money can buy to help out our friend Hart. We take that from the Save Hart campaign because I don't see anyone arguing that doesn't directly help her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we see how much we have afterwards and how much wiggle room we can get.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. So you guys immediately take her to, and of course Paxton would let you know, one of the best hospitals on Zeberon is actually Saint Huerta.
Neat.
Hang on, I'm writing that down.
Say Hojas. Uh-oh.
Oh God, memories.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you take her there. She is admitted in, and they give her a full checkup. It's about a 3-hour wait, which I assume, at least Isaac, are you like in the waiting room?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
After about 3 hours, a cyberdoc, someone who specializes in the replacements and installations of cybernetic attachments, he comes out and he calls you into his office. And he closes the door. Of course, anyone else who wants to be there can be. Who else would be there?
No, I'll be there.
I mean, I was with her last time when she did her last surgery, whatever. I'll be here.
All right.
I'm gonna go get Tessa, who probably
Yeah?
want to be there.
Oh, that's a good point. She's on Candyland.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, like I said, it's 3 hours, so it's more than enough time to pop into Candyland. Are you taking everyone back with you? Elisa, the orphans, and Tessa, or
The
just
orphans
grabbing
are with
Tessa?
the monks, right?
They're all
Yeah.
with the monks.
Yeah, I think she'll ask the monks. It's like, can I just stay here for a little bit longer? Will that be fine? Are you okay taking care of them?
They will nod, of course.
Right.
Okay, then I'm just gonna get Tessa and leave.
All right.
And never come back. They're your kids now.
So Tessa, we'll say it's like on the way back. Tessa's like, so what's going on? Everything okay? You got heart, right?
Yes, and she's going into surgery.
What? Why? What happened?
They took her arms and were replacing them.
What? With what?
Mechanical ones.
Oh no. And she'll start she rushes forward and then stops and then looks at you pleading like, where?
We're going now. Don't worry.
All right. So you take Tessa to the hospital. So we'll say that the doctor calls all of you into the room where Hart is in her bed, and she's resting. She looks like she's resting comfortably. She has her arms kind of folded on her stomach, and she's in a bed that's more in a sitting position than a lying position. And the doctor will close the door. And he said, normally this information is only given to her family, but she seems to insist that is all of you. So who am I to argue? Okay,
Shut
well,
up,
that's one
dog.
objection. That's one objection.
Of course I'm not.
You're not here in this scene, you stupid dog.
She became a dog?
Her arms
Todd
were
just
replaced
comes
with
barging in.
How about we take just a quick minute to go to the restroom and all that?
But
I'll
Dr.
deal with this,
Wuffles,
and I'll be right back.
please. I need to tell them.
Oh my god.
Those days when Hart just becomes a dog.
Yeah, she really is Posnies.
Oh god. Those anesthetics, they really fucked her up, huh?
Those Anastasias.
Those Anastasias. Apparently we have more than one now.
Is
Oh my god. I can't believe we fucking flooded that building. Me
Okay.
so
dude, that
happy.
was the best. That was the best.
I
Some people
love
are
this
playing games of
campaign.
this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love how all
Anyhow.
our plans are very serious and very complex, and then it turns into let's flood it.
Yeah, but we can just do this, and we don't have to worry about shit.
I know,
Oh,
it's great.
Occam's razor, man.
Yeah,
The most
dude.
simplest explanation is normally the correct one.
Mhm.
So we just used a pocket dimension full of water to flood the basin.
Easy peasy.
All right, let's take a moment here, guys, and decide what we want to do next, right? Okay, so we're going to assume Hart is going to take some time to recover, or she'll recover soon, right?
Yeah.
Either way, after that, we have a few things. We got our good demon Baz buddy that needs to be dropped off at Cyrene. We got these kids, right?
Yeah.
We got Xavier's daughter. What else do
Yeah.
we got?
I mean, there are a couple of others, specifically Isaac related, but I don't think we really need to go into them. We know exactly where his father is, which also ties into, I can't remember his name, but the lizard man that betrayed us.
Tyra? Oh,
Tyra.
Not Tyra.
Tiny Wrath.
no! Lizard man that betrayed. Oh, you mean the part of Simmons' crew?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we can start tracking those guys down, but I don't really want to right now. I think...
Yeah.
I think
It's based on what we want to
personally,
do as players, right?
As a player, I would like to just deal with the orphans, set them up to go to school and whatnot, sell the shit,
Okay.
and then go to Frontier.
Yeah, there's some little things I want to do as well before we leave Zebron for another.
Sure. We're talking
So,
about bigger strokes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
next objectives, not like we have to do this right this very second.
Yeah.
We're
I'm down
leaving
with that
again.
as well.
And
Hello.
as far as
Hello.
Baz is concerned, One of the biggest reasons why he couldn't get off of that planet was because there were no ley lines. But we have ley lines here.
Mm-hmm.
We could just open up a portal and go, hey, there they go. We don't necessarily
Well,
have to land.
the agreement, the contract that we signed said we have to arrange transportation to Cyrene.
True.
So
Well,
we have
technically,
to open up a rift to Cyrene.
if he was going to get technical with you, it's only fair if you can use the wording too. Technically, the agreement said provide him the ability to get to Cyrene.
Yes.
So,
So
however,
we could technically open a ley line and just shove him through.
however that is interpreted,
Yeah.
because he
So-
and I was saying 'cause
okay.
he used that to finagle a ride with you because at the point in time, I was
There
the
were no
only
ley
way.
lines.
Yeah.
He could get out
Yeah.
there. Okay, so yeah, you're right. Maybe we don't. There are ley lines on Zeberon?
There are ley
dude.
lines in the eye of Zeberon.
Do you not remember what the eye is made of?
I
Yeah,
know what
man.
the eye is made of, but you can't just pass a human being through there. You need a
Yeah.
special ship.
I mean,
not human.
Inferno
He's
has
a
a very good
people.
point. These ley lines are literally on the cusp of the event horizon. So
Yes,
That is
it's
true.
on
That
the
is-
fucking horizon.
Hey, if you
And then
want
the
to get
Corsairs still tell us where to go.
if you want to get really technical with it, what we could do
It's
is
push
have
through
him on a
space.
tiny shuttle and have him move it like 5 miles an hour, light years away. It'll get it there.
That's
You
an
know how to
excellent
pilot,
move.
right?
He'll come back and he'll kill us somehow.
he just comes back, starts slaughtering.
He comes back and goes, "What the hell was this?" Wait, let me see the
So he has
contract.
to find
you
us
see
in the
this here?
times.
See, in the fine print it says, "We just need to give you the ability to get there."
We gave you
Fuck,
the
it
ability.
does.
You're
See.
incompetent.
I don't know.
We gave
Xavier
you
d-
a really nice, small, compact, personalized vehicle for you.
and it's going in the direction you want. No, I don't know. Xavier doesn't want to he doesn't want to trick this demon. I don't know. It seems to Xavier's really big on when he makes a deal, he honors it type of thing.
Except for
that's fair.
Violet.
Pardon
I
me?
was just
Except
trying
for
Except for
everyone
Violet.
else in the group.
Except for Violet. What
Or
about
whatever
Violet?
chick's name that's in prison.
Yeah,
Magnolia.
Magnolia.
I knew it was a
Yeah.
flower.
Oh, yeah. Except she was...
I think we got around that by just having me make the deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
true.
right.
Was it? Oh yeah, it was.
Good. Yeah.
What's your
Either-
name?
or-
Lucas.
yeah, Lucas. Yeah.
But to be honest,
Yeah.
I was just trying to find another way to not have to land and deal with Dude Man. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
like a ley line idea.
All we have to do is get him to a ley line nexus. Anywhere,
Yeah.
right? Anywhere in the galaxy. It could be on our way to Frontier Station, you know what I mean? And
It's
just
true.
be like, okay, now you have a
But-
means of going to Cyrene.
Yeah.
And then that would be fair, right? I
As-
think that would be extremely fair.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, I think the rest of the session should just be tying up loose ends and
On
then
Zeberon?
go to Frontier
Doing little things.
Station. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Rest
I'm
of the
down
session?
for Zeberon side stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, yeah, we'll see how long it takes. Maybe it doesn't take that long. Who knows?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Right, we're having a serious moment.
Yeah. So first things first.
Oh, yeah. For
Uh,
dog barkage.
so you're all the family. Ruff, ruff. Okay. Well, I guess someone
we forgot
objects.
a family member.
So no, my wife just came home, so he was spazzing out. The doctor then says, "We looked into your request of outfitting her with biometric replacements." Given that she is a psychic of some potential, and such technology attached to her, obviously, while it doesn't prevent her from using her abilities, it does certainly limit her quite severely. There is a complication, however. Normally, the way cybernetics are attached is that the damaged areas are removed and, for lack of a better term, cleaned up, and the cybernetic part is then attached to the nerve endings at the site of the joining.
Mhm.
However, perhaps it's better if I show you. And he'll tap on the computer, and a holographic display will pop up of basically a silhouette of Hart's body. And you see in different colors the mechanical arms, and in the mechanical from the shoulders there seem to be several of the same colored lines that snake through her body and up into her head. And he goes, "These arms didn't just connect to the nerve pathways that control the motor functions for her arms, they replaced them. The technology is marvelous, far more advanced than anything I've ever seen, but basically, in layman terms, they replaced her nerves and connected them to the part of her brain that controls the motor functions for her arms, giving her much faster reaction time and control over them, certainly, but it also, well, to be quite frankly, makes it incredibly dangerous with our current understanding of it, which I admit is very little, to attempt to remove them. Perhaps with time and research, we might be able to develop a method."
You're telling me, oh, we don't need you to maybe remove these cybernetic nerves, but can you not attach these cybernetic nerves, if they just act like regular nerves, to the more organically based arms? Just replace the arms themselves, leave the nerves alone.
He shakes his head. "That was my first thought, and I originally attempted to probe into the idea. Obviously, I didn't want to hurt her, but it would seem that from what little I did do, if the mechanical arms are removed, the mechanical nerves would become non-functioning. And I'm not exactly sure what that would do to her, but I can theorize that it would not be good in any way,
Okay.
shape, or form. They would have to be removed from her brain before we could. I mean, I don't think we even have the technology to implant other nerves in there. Not yet."
Okay. And how about something cosmetic? Can you not create some sort of layer of synthetic or organic skin to coat on top of her metal arms, so at least they don't look so obviously robotic?
He nods. "That absolutely we could do. We could give her a very realistic coating, even to the touch, that would certainly hide their more mechanical nature. And given that these arms are, I hesitate to use words remarkable in such a tragic circumstance, but very unique. I can even fit them with a type of covering that would still allow them to function to their optimal capacity."
Okay. Xavier pauses for a moment. That's a good short term. You said long term, however, it would require quite a bit of research and development and study to see if there's any way of, first of all, either using the cybernetic nerves or circumventing them completely. I'm not stupid, Xavier says with a bit of a smirk, and I understand research requires funding, right? And the more funding you get, the more people and the more free time you have in order to research. So, give me a ballpark figure, Xavier asks with a smirk on his face, of a dream team of scientists. What would that budget look like?
He pauses and he says, the price would be consent, which she has already given. Let me explain as best I can. This technology is remarkable, far beyond anything I've ever seen before. A team of dream team scientists, as you suggest, would jump at the chance to study such a remarkable technology in hopes of maybe new advancements. I mean, I understand that this is a touchy subject, but if we could replicate this, we could create far more efficient cybernetics. The point is that the studying of this information could, in and of itself, yield quite valuable findings. And however, we are not ethically and morally able to research it without her consent. And I have already spoken to the young miss that if we devote our efforts into finding a way to remove and replace them, that she has given her full consent for us to study any information we may need.
All right, then. Xavier has no more questions.
Hart raises up a hand weakly and she goes, and... Oh, yes, sorry. And that she is to be given all of the same information herself to, as she says, study on her own. And then Hart nods.
Well, there goes my question.
Hart nods and goes, Pa always said, if something's worth doing.
All right. So does that mean you're going to be staying here on Zebron for a while, Hart?
The Dr. Pipe says, "Oh no, that's quite unnecessary. Our imaging technology is more than enough to give us all the information we need to study in her absence. Of course, though, if things change for the better or worse or in any substantial way, we may request she come back in to catalog the changes. But no, she does not need to be here."
Okie dokie. I'm assuming, though, this cosmetic overlay on top of our arms, that's not going to come free.
Unfortunately, no. That will have a price attached to it.
Xavier will say, I'm going to just tell you right now, spare absolutely no expense.
Understood. Generally speaking, the modifications I have in mind to allow the arms to fully expand to their considerable lengths would require a bit of work, but about around an estimate, of course, 2 million clicks.
Okay. So we'll take that out of the Save Heart Fund.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, great. I'm done. I have no more questions, but now I have a great idea of what to do on Zebron. It's like a side thing, as Anna does some things and other people does some things. I have a scheme in mind.
Okay, all right. Okay, so to go a bit more narratively, Hart can travel with you guys. She will recover. She's still very weak, but she's clear to leave the hospital as long as she goes home and rests for at least several days, and takes it easy. The coverings of her arms will take only a few hours of surgery to do. They will look and feel temperature wise, texture wise, etc. Completely organic and even match her skin tone perfectly. It will allow the arms to extend. Like when you first saw her, you saw how her arms were. They were extended into multifaceted connections that were connected to the apparatus she was attached to. So it allows her to still do that should she choose to. Though mechanically speaking, while this is less important for you guys, it's still good for you as players to know, all of her psychic abilities have been basically her ISP has been cut in half by the attachment of non-organic parts.
Yeah.
So she can still use them, but she is severely handicapped by it.
Makes sense.
And with that, she's released from the hospital, so she can go back to the second chance to rest while the rest of you, I believe, go about unfinished business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they promised.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna let other people do some other stuff first, but I have something I want to do.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, who's first?
Well, I know Anna wanted to do some things, right?
Sure. Anna?
Two things. One was set up cameras in the non-pocket dimension ship that we can access while in the pocket dimension.
Oh, yeah, in case we get any sort of borders or something.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
And 2 is go through the security footage for her house.
Oh, really?
Hasn't done that yet.
She has
I'm
not.
worried that someone's gonna is breaking into your house and peeing on your stuff.
Someone might be breaking in. I would not be shocked.
I'm confused.
Break windows and peeing on stuff.
It's something that's been said in stream, but I don't think Anna's even told other characters yet.
Oh, then that's
Yeah.
okay. Then I'll wait till you tell me in character.
So, Anna, where are your home surveillance cameras? Like, describe for me the setup.
Probably at least one in each room inside, a couple outside, and probably at least 1 or 2 sneaky ones.
Got it. So you go through your recordings and oh, hang on 1 second.
It explodes.
Yep.
You go through the camcorder recordings, and not more than a day after you left Zebra, sorry, not a day, a week after you left Zebron to go on your 6-month trip, you noticed that absolutely right. 3 men dressed in nondescript clothing. They look like pretty much every other worker that lives in that area of Zebron. They enter your house, and you can tell very quickly, no forced entry. They must know what they were doing to get past your lock. And they start rifling through your apartment. And what you notice from the camera is that they are incredibly skilled at what they're doing, because they go over every square inch of your apartment and leave it precisely how they found it, to the point of where if you didn't have the cameras, you probably never would have known they were there.
Do I recognize any of them?
No, you do not. But you definitely recognize the tactic.
What do I know? From
Yeah.
where, shall we say?
This is something that was commonly done by people from your past.
Good.
You were never one of those, but you do know that they dealt with a lot of corporate espionage and things of that nature. So they had certain people that were very skilled at rifling through things incognito. And they go through your entire house looking for things. They don't disturb anything of any nature. They take a couple pictures here and there, you can see, and then they begin to leave. And as they leave, as they pass by the camera by the door, one of them stops, looks directly into the camera, and just points to it. And then walks out.
Yep.
I'm coming for you.
I expected that as well. No, I expected that much as well. Because I'm assuming she would also, other than the sneaky ones, would put them up in the exact same way she would have back then as well.
Mm-hmm. So, yes. So while you don't recognize the faces, these is undeniably associates of people you know.
Good. Great.
And
hey, Tessa, don't go anywhere near the house.
yeah, you can tell her. She'll let you know. And I apologize again, everyone. I have to run out just for a few minutes. I'm being called. I am so sorry. I'll be right back.
Okay.
God, it's like he's got a wife or something.
I was gonna say, I don't want to say what I want to do yet. I want to for the save it when it happening. For when it happening? Well, I want to save it until I learn how to speak English again.
We might be here for a while.
Oh, shut up!
I mean, you can say in other languages. We just won't understand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Je suis un
Please
savior.
shut the fuck
Je
up.
m'appelle Xavier Anderson. Je suis un ananas. Je parle oiseau.
Oh, I love it.
Donde biblioteca.
That's good.
Oh, God.
But where? Where is it? Please, I need to know.
Le songe sur la branche. That's the extent.
Do we still want to do what Inferno? I think I might. I don't know if I talked to Byrne or Laura about this, but the just the fun times.
Oh yeah, fun times, like a relaxing time. Definitely, we'll do that after once we get a little bit more money. Shifty eyes. We'll treat ourselves.
Okay.
So, okay, I could get behind that. Yeah.
But yeah, there has to be something. We should ask Squee, and maybe so he can prepare for next session or something like that. But what do people do for fun on Zeberon? Right? Like, yeah, do they vacation?
Go to the academy and do homework?
No. That's not fun.
Hookers.
I mean, I'm assuming there's movies, or there's plays, or there's tours, or there's leisure activities. Is there gambling? Are there casinos? Oh my god.
There's casinos. If there's drug addicts, there's casinos.
It's true.
Drug addicts love casinos.
I'm saying, this ain't a clean place. As much as they want to pursue that one.
Oh my god.
It's just so funny. I know what you mean. There's a shady side to Zeberon. A dog.
Anna's it.
Check out the underworld of Zeberon.
The way you said it.
Stay for the Alex, come for the casinos.
Oh my god.
What I'm thinking of doing is just dealing with the kids, talking to Hagen, and seeing if there's any kind of schooling opportunity through the Corsairs that they could do. Not necessarily to become Corsairs, but use that kind of
training.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Because they could probably become operators and stuff.
I do like that idea, but also they spent I don't fucking know how long with the monks, so if they really wanted to, they could probably just stay there.
It's true. I mean, it's up to them.
I was thinking about that. We should give them the option.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Especially if they've been bonding with the monks or something, and they're like, "Hey, I make cool bell sounds with my fists now."
Boom.
I don't know.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I like how our loading song has essentially just become the Spanish Flea.
God damn right, yeah. There was a little Spanish. I'm just waiting for it to go on one of the goddamn YouTube videos that play the little Spanish Flea and have a comment being I don't know,
Riff's probably here.
Something like that. Can't wait.
Yeah.
What a little Spanish Flea.
I'll put this so
record
Inferno will
star
see it.
Yeah, I'll post it so Inferno can see it. Look at me, Inferno Senpai. Look at me, Flea Senpai.
I like how you did say notice me. You said, "Look at me."
Look at me.
Look at me. Look at me. I am the captain now. Look at me.
Oh
Look
my
at
god.
me.
Tell me, do you bleed?
Oh god.
Yes.
Ew.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yes, I
Apologies.
Hello.
Don't worry about it.
Apologies. I am back.
How dare.
Oh.
We shit posted. It's fine.
All right.
Oh shit, posted.
All right.
Oh wow, we have a lot of people watching. Hi everyone.
Oh, wow.
Hi, everyone.
Oh,
I think
looking at the numbers,
folks
yeah.
over at Palladium about an hour ago retweeted us to us.
Aw,
Oh, sweet.
Hi,
how
everybody.
nice of them. Everyone just got here to see it. Well, the GM's not here at the moment.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We're
No,
clearly
sorry,
professionals.
all right. So,
Okay.
Anna,
Mm.
was that the extent of what you wanted to do?
There's a couple other things I want to do, but I think I'm going to need to think about them.
All right. So I can let you know
Okay.
right now. The cameras installed on the second chance are not a big issue. It would
Do you want me to
cost
roll
you.
anything?
no, this is Eberron, which means it's not really a matter of finding it, it's just a matter of cost.
I more have thought setting them up.
Oh, well, yes. Okay, never mind. Yes. So that will reduce the cost. So for a good set of cameras, how many cameras are we talking here? One for every room of the old one?
For every small room, 2 to 4 for the room I'm forgetting the name of. The
All
big.
right, so let's say 2 dozen, right?
Yeah.
24. All right, you're looking at probably right around for a good quality camera, 6,000 clicks.
Okay.
And then installation is usually where they get you. However, please roll me a check. No penalties or anything. This is right up your alley.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So you have no issues whatsoever installing them, and then sending the feed. The only tricky thing, which in your role you have no issues doing whatsoever, is of course you have to thread or route the feed through the AAG in order to get it into the pocket dimension. However, with a roll like that, you have no issues whatsoever. So it uses the same route your radios do to talk to the outside world to get to you when you're inside the dimension.
You know how we set it up so if like there was an alert through the ship system, it was sent to her room? Can we add the surveillance systems to that?
Oh
so
yeah,
it's,
I mean, once you
or something?
Once you pipe the feed into the ship, it's a simple matter to just route the feed to any room with a monitor that you want.
Sweet, perfect.
All right, so that's that.
Okay.
All right, who's next?
Okay, I'm too excited. I'm going to wet myself. All right, can I go next?
I'm fine with it.
Yes.
Okay. So the first thing I want to do is do everything nice and legitimate and up, and go with Isaac and Lucas and whoever else would like to. I'd like to go through the ship, see what's damaged, see what weapons require refilling, like missiles or something like that, and do that. Because that was used during the mission, so it's completely above board that we're just repairing and resupplying what was lost. Okay?
Makes sense.
And our armors?
And and a personal armor that needs repairs and all that. Now, Squee, you don't have to crunch the numbers right now, but it'll be important to the final number that I have in mind. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So currently, before these repairs and before Xavier's shenanigans, we have a little over 21 million clicks in, for the lack of a better word, Heart's GoFundMe page, or her rescue that people donated to help with their rescue, right?
Right.
So now what Xavier wants to do is go to minus 2 million. Yes. What's the 2 million from?
The
coverings.
arms.
The
Oh,
arm
yeah.
coverings.
Minus 2 million. Okay, so still over 19 million, right? Okay.
Yes.
So then what Xavier wants to do is to get in good contact with his dear friend Finn Mookie, the underground queen of Zeberon. Would it be fair, Xavier? Would it be fair, Xavier? Xavier, problem. Would it be fair,
Finn Mookie?
Would it be fair, GM, for Xavier to set up a private one-on-one meeting with Finn Mookie? Now, normally I would invite the other players, but I want you guys not to know so you have culpable deniability of all of this. Okay?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you just netted her, I believe, 20% of 5 million clicks. So yes.
I'm going to be netting her more soon anyway.
So she's more than happy to set up a private.
On a one-on-one clandestine meeting with this underground operator, these are the skills that I want to use for the sake of doing this. I want to use... okay. I should tell you my plans first and the skills I'm going to use to help with this plan. The plan is to set up with Finn Mookie a complex weave, a complex web of shell companies, different causes, different non-profit groups, different profit groups, different movements, all to funnel the $19 million through. This can go to fake companies that they just set up, to legitimate companies to launder the money, to worthy causes that are vaguely linked to Heart, that sort of thing. In addition, Xavier doesn't want to filter or expect all this money to come back to them. He understands that in order to throw someone off the scent, sacrifices and funds are going to have to be made. In addition, Finmuki and her sources are also going to have to be compensated for it. So the end goal is approximately 50% of the money of the clicks that's going to be sent out there comes back and can be given back directly to Xavier and the group, right? The other 50% are either used to pay off Finmuki, to stay in these fake accounts and look like they're filled up for some reason, to pay off other individuals, and to throw people off the scent. All right? And so the skills I want to use along with Finmuki's connections is the following. My literacy and language skills in all the trade languages. So the more languages there are used in this endeavor, the more complicated things can be. I want to use my math skill, obviously, to do some number crunching and also to do some creative embezzling, for lack of a better word. I want to use my streetwise skill in order to find businesses that are fine, making up dummy accounts and taking a little money under the table to say that everything is legitimate, and it's been here for like 3 years when it's only been there for 2 days, right? I want to use my cryptography skill to encode and the traces of where this money is going. So if anyone wants to try to follow this very complex digital scale, they're going to meet themselves with some cryptographic walls. Obviously, I want to use computer operations since this is during a digital medium. And finally, I want to use my law CCW skill. Obviously, Zebron is a little bit different, which I'm going to have to use Finmuki's knowledge in this. But I want to use that law skill, the base fundamentals, to see if I can't find some sort of wiggle room or loophole or anything like that. The whole point of all these skills and the whole plan is to make it look like the money that was donated was sent out in 200 different directions, all with the idea of helping at heart, all being justified in some way or another, right? Or it's just, it's a bank that's holding the money that's going to be used, right? And eventually, Finmuki and the others, 50% is being sacrificed to them, and the other 50% comes straight back to us. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And dear
Absolutely.
God, I hope that didn't cut out. Okay.
No. Yeah, no, all of it came through.
That's amazing.
Okay. Yeah. I would like you to make each of those rolls. No penalty, only because Finmuki is going to be helping you out with this. So basically, any gaps that you have due to this not being the world you're used to, she can fill for you. So what I'm going to do is I'd like you to roll each of those, and we're going to find out how many times you succeed and by if any of them are by a substantial margin.
All right. Now, the literacy and the language skills are all at 98%. Can we just circumvent those, or do you want me to roll those too?
I'd like you to roll them only if in case it's substantial. If it's like a very, very low roll, that might play into it. Okay,
so all right. So
we'll just do one roll, yeah.
Okay, because they're all 100. Okay, great. Yeah. I got 80 out of 98.
So yeah, it's no issue.
Okay, all right, great. So then the first is Math Basic. That's also a 98. Okay, 21. That's good.
Okay, yes.
All right. Streetwise is at a 72. Okay, 61.
Okay.
Cryptography is at 80%. 80. I got a 9 on that. Oh, fuck
all
yeah.
Right.
All right. Okay. Sorry for the F-bombs, everyone. I'm excited. Computer operations is at 98%. 44. And last but not least, law CCW is at 85%. 68.
Okay.
All successes.
All successes, and two of them by quite a substantial margin. So, Xavier, this is going to take you about 5 days to do.
Sure.
Because
I'm not expecting we're hammering this all out. This, right. Yeah, of course.
Though but I mean, that's $10
million. So this is the work. Xavier,
And that said, Heart's recovering anyway, so you definitely have the time. So over the course of the next 5 days, you work with Finmuki to funnel all the money to corporations, and using your skills, in your information, basically your math allows you to hit that sweet spot of sending money in different directions that's as much as you can, but just below the point where it starts to look suspicious.
Noticeable. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, don't actual like banks or the government only look at funds that are like over $5,000 or some silly thing like that? So
yeah,
there's like a similar
things
rule?
of that nature. Exactly.
Nice.
And you use your streetwise, of course, to find the corporations, and most specifically corporations that either are or can look like things that would be legitimate reasons to give the money to help find Heart, that don't mind taking a little money out of the table, and most importantly, provide receipts. Because that's one thing Finmuki would say, is that everything needs to be accounted for. You can't just be like, "Where's the money?" You have to show them receipts.
Exactly.
So
even if they're digital receipts, they have to be some things to prove that the money went somewhere.
And after spending an all-nighter, where Xavier probably sucked down quite a bit of coffee and cracked his knuckles quite a few times, managed to actually cover your tracks extremely well. To where if anyone tried to follow all these paper routes on the extranet, they would run into wall after wall after wall.
And why would they? We're all helping the beloved Sophie Gray Heart, right? This is all just in a good place, and I'm sure no one would be so cynical to look anyway.
And because of the 9, it's not like they're running into walls and it's obvious, oh, hey, there's something blocking me. It's the more subtle, like, oh, it's a corporation. Well, where's this corporation's information? Gee, well, I just can't find that corporation's information. They seem to be out of touch. So it's the more subtle obstacles that you were able to put in the way of any such investigation. So because of this, and because of the success that you and Finmuki had, you were able to actually, after she takes her cut, they take their cuts, and everything is on the board, you're able to get a clean bill of receipts valuing just over, believe it or not, 19.2 million.
Mm-hmm.
And you were able to get 60% of that back.
Woo! Sweet. So let's do our calculator thing. So 19 point what?
19.
I got it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Burns got it.
All right. Let me just kablam and add the commas. Boom.
11,472,600 clicks.
Yep. That's
there we go,
good.
guys. Squeaky clean money. And well, Xavier will also, at the end of this, he's going to issue a press release to all the individuals of the GoFundMe. Maybe use his computer use to put up a nice, slick press release, give them updates, let them know where she's recovering, let them know that everything is successful, and although she has a lot of healing to do, she is back safe and sound at Zeberon, and I'll give a couple updates and stuff like that.
Maybe don't say where she's healing,
no,
just
yeah,
so
maybe
the
not
press
where.
don't go to there.
Yeah, so the press don't go nuts. But we can prove it if there's some like deep probing legal inquiries, right?
Okay, sure. So like a picture of a nondescript hospital bed and her giving a thumbs up. Or, By the way, Isaac, you especially would know, once she finds out that this many people contributed to the Sophie Clay GoFundMe campaign, she is genuinely and truly touched by it.
Good.
And she vows to you privately that at some point in the future she'll have to do something for them, maybe do another movie or something like that. And then she'll say that, and then she'll blush because she'll be like, the idea, she's not someone that handles fame very well. Like, maybe I should do another movie for them, but oh gosh, like I really be good enough to be in another movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
But she takes it all fairly quietly, but she's genuinely, I mean, they raised 60 million, I think.
Yeah, about that. It was either 60 or 80.
To rescue her. Yeah, and keep in mind, of course, this is coming from a much larger area than our Earth, but still, that's a lot of money.
It is.
So, yeah.
Cool. But after that endeavor, Xavier's going to reward himself by buying one of the nicest, slickest, most modern suits in Zeberon itself. Maybe he saw something like some, starlet was not starlet, obviously, but some like star or big politician or something was wearing a suit at some point, and Xavier's like, I'm going to buy me a suit like that. So he does, as a celebration, right?
Actually, Paxton would be more than happy to recommend a few shops.
Good. Yes, a nice custom tailored suit to every contour of Xavier's happy body. Let me know how much that is. I'm taking that off of the money that we made. That's Xavier's reward for doing this.
It'd be 60,000 clicks, and it is what they call
62,600 that we have now.
I got it.
It's called a smart suit, in that it is actually laced with small nanobot technology that will contour to your form, self-clean, and even do minor repairs while wearing it. So, for example, if you spill something on it or get a small tear, it will repair as you sit there. Which, I mean, quite honestly, it better for 60,000 clicks.
Well, yeah, that's really cool.
There you go. Anything else, Xavier? Uh-oh. You there, buddy?
There we go. Hello?
Aha.
Hello.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Okay. One last thing then.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after I treated myself to my grossly illegal scheme, Xavier will head back towards the second chance, and before he looked like the cat who ate the canary, now he looks like the cat who ate all the cream, and he's going to tell his fine companions that we have ourselves a big boon. We have just over 11 million clicks to spend, and he's going to say no strings attached, no restrictions. It's all ours, and it's all legitimate.
Lucas is squinting at him like after you said the word legitimate. Is like, you sure?
You know what, Lucas?
Yeah.
It's best just not to ask. It's in your best interest. I can say absolutely no one was hurt, no one was harmed, nothing too shady happened, didn't fund any criminal enterprises or anything like that. It was just a little bit of legal trickery. You know, like that Paxton guy, he had those contracts that we had to sign. It's like one big contract that Zeberon made, and I just found a couple loopholes, right? Same thing we would do to Baz, just on a bigger scale.
Right.
Yeah, Xavier says. And although at night he takes about 10 minutes harder sleeping at night because he lied to his friend Lucas, he then thinks of the 11 million clicks and says, he'll get over it. As he goes to sleep.
All right. Speaking of Boz, what's the plan for Boz? He's still in the necklace.
Yeah. The idea, I think this is either waifu or doggo.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is that we're going to find some place that has a ley line nexus and say, "You're free, boss. Go. You're free." So we're going to be kind of looking out for a place like that on our way to Frontier Station when we eventually start heading that direction.
All right. So got it. So basically, you're gonna keep him in there while you're getting your business done on Zeberon, and then got it. Okay. So we'll worry about that at a later time.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else? Kid, Isaac, and Lucas. What would you guys be doing? We'll say for the next 5 days or so.
Lucas is looking for some swim trunks because he lost his last ones.
Easy
Why
enough
did
to
he
find.
lose some?
Well, you're gonna have to ask him for that one. It's a long story.
Was it while swimming? Was it while
It's a
Anna
long
was standing there
story.
watching him swim? Was he naked in front of Anna?
No.
Okay, that's
He was
all
in
I
like
care
a
about.
big suit.
Oh, Brooke, right. Good enough for me, I don't care.
They're easy enough to find. There are plenty of shops on Zebron. I mean, you could find a cheap pair for 5 clicks, a good pair for 40 clicks.
This is probably a 40-click one.
All right, now, are we talking swim trunks, or are we talking 1920s?
Look in the chat. On
hang on.
Discord.
Hang on. All I see is the rainbow fish.
You're in the wrong
I'm
chat,
in the wrong room. Oh, wow. Yeah, so we'll say, I mean, what's the quality?
I'm assuming that Lucas has stumbled upon probably one of the higher ones and
Okay,
just like
actually-
how interesting it looks.
I should actually probably ask, if you want higher quality, I mean, you just want to go to the CDW store and the armor shop and just have them custom make SDC armor swim trunks?
Alright. As interesting as that sounds, how much protection do you really think that will give him?
A bit.
It's like
I
having
mean-
armor-plated freaking bikinis. It's done.
Yeah, I'm not saying it would. I mean, it would protect what some consider the most important parts, but it certainly wouldn't protect all the vital areas. I was just offering, if you're talking high quality here.
You can have little nanobots that repair your swim trunks in case of accidents.
No, unfortunately, they don't make those swim trunks.
Not yet.
Those are. That's like Armani does not make swim trunks. I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
I bet you
Squee.
they
Dumb.
do.
He's most likely going to buy swim trunks, but he's probably also going to then hound after something that might be like a bit more like water neat,
Okay, so
like a suit or some sort of like helpful object of some kind.
I'd say about 30 clicks.
There it clicks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And after the session, I can discuss things with you.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what he's
All right.
doing.
Okay.
I should probably also. That's probably going to be asking too much, but I probably should at some point go like, Lucas just kind of mills around and like just goes around into shops. Is there anything that's neat that might catch his eye? But that would require a lot of work on your side. So
how about give me a week and I'll let you know next week.
Absolutely.
Okay. Kid or Isaac, or Isaac.
You got anything, kid?
No.
Okay, so what Isaac would probably be doing is spending a hell of a lot of time with Hart because he wants to be there for her. But the thing is, in the interest of getting things done and tying up loose ends, I also am interested in taking care of the orphans, at least getting them to Zeberon, seeing if they're interested in staying at Zeberon, and if they want to, setting up a place for them to stay, probably through General Hagen, and talking to him about it, seeing if there's some kind of like junior Corsairs or something like that, something for them to do and learn.
Like Boy Scouts but Corsairs?
Yes.
Oh my
yes,
God.
That.
Not precisely, not for Corsairs. But there are what would be the equivalent of like community colleges, university type places where they can get the basic education that they need. Because let's be honest, they've spent like a few months, 3 months with you guys who are not exactly licensed teachers. And when you found them, they didn't even know how to read. So they still have quite a ways to go. But there are basically educational programs that they can be a part of.
I'm talking about like enrolling them in middle school or high school. I don't know how old these guys are.
Right. So they are older than that, but
Okay.
there are special facilities that are designed for such things. Mainly because, especially with the temporal gate kicking around, you never know what might come through, and so there are facilities that are like boarding schools for special cases such as this. What they do is, they're the best place for them because, technically speaking, their cognitive abilities are beyond what most, say, middle schoolers would be because they're older and more mature, so that they can learn their skill sets more quickly than a general middle school regimen would be.
Yeah.
And they can also provide house and board and everything of that nature. It is, of course, more expensive that way, but if you are willing, it's about 10,000 clicks a semester per person.
Okay. So right now I want to get them started on their first semester, but I want to make sure, like, narratively, if they're interested in this or if they want to stay with the monks.
No. I can tell you that they definitely don't want to stay with the monks. They're nice. They're boring. They're
Yeah, that's fair. So
very
there
much
were-
not.
There were 6 of them, right?
Hang on. I'm pulling them up now.
I thought there
Maybe
were 4.
Yeah, I think there
4
were
or 5.
4.
No,
Hang on.
because
1,
it was
2,
the
3, 4. There were
human, the
4.
puppy, and then the actual puppies.
No. It was the human. Hang on. I gotta pull it up. But it was the human pilot. It was the weird alien, and then it was the 2 brother and sister Wolvens.
Yes.
So we came to the exact same number.
Right, same number, just different. Yeah, I'm having trouble finding my notes on it, but yes, there are 4 of them, including the brother and sister Wolvens that look like huskies, the female human, and the leader,
Who
was
has
an
puppy dog
alien.
eyes.
Yes,
this is
exactly.
why-
Who tried to be threatening but couldn't because of the puppy dog eyes. So here's the deal: the
Really?
leader
Gets you every time.
all of them seem more than willing to learn. Their biggest thing is that they are nervous and unsure of what comes next because they don't, like I said, they've been slaves their entire life, so they're really not sure what comes next. They are more than happy for some form of stability, at least for the moment. So that they can kind of put their feet under them and figure out where they are, what they're going to do, etc. So they would be more than happy to take you up on your offer, if for no other reason. And they make this very clear. I mean, they don't make any promises to stay or anything, but as at the moment, it's much better than them being on the streets. And
Yeah.
they would be more than happy to accept your very generous offer.
Good. So I want to do that. I want to get that set up. And then after, when we're ready to go get the ship, try and sell the ship out for parts or the whole thing, whatever, and split the money, take part of that money, like 60% of what we get from that, and then the other 40% into a fund for those kids so that they can get educated. That's what I'm thinking.
Got it.
Would the rest of you guys be okay with that?
I mean, it
Yeah.
technically was their ship, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Can we just...
And we have the money to burn.
Can we say we do that?
Yes. Given that you, so, I mean, you're absolutely right in the sense that normally that would be difficult since it's restricted right now. But you are chatty with Druggo over there. Here we go. Finally found it.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah,
You have Volrud Gind, who's AK Slash is the blue-skinned alien who's called Amiibo with the big puppy eyes. You had Hikuro, the human, and then the 2 twins. So, yes, sorry. It was bugging me. So, you would need to get Lucas to give him a shipment of drugs. And Lucas, you're finding, this is your second time, you're finding that he neither remembers or cares what kind of drugs he got last time, or you've gotten very lucky One of the two, because he's never been like, hey, these aren't my drugs.
Yeah. All right.
He just seems to be happy with whatever drugs are on display at the time.
Okay.
It's like a buffet, a drug buffet.
So, but yes, Lucas, you would have to supply him. Do you still have drugs left?
I do. I wouldn't say it would be as big as a shipment, but I do.
All right. Roll me. Do you have Streetwise, Lucas?
Let me go check, actually.
Can't we just get some from Finn?
Finn?
The entire point was to actually make it go through Finn.
Yeah.
Right. However, you still need to introduce, if you're going to do that way, you still need to introduce Finn's agent to him. Had to sneeze, sorry. No, because remember he trusted you. And
I thought Lucas did this already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thought he
I
did.
already did this.
Oh, you
99% sure.
Yeah,
okay.
we
Fine.
pretty sure we did this.
Then never mind. He would have a steady flow of drugs. Never mind everything I said. My apologies. He already has a steady flow of drugs. Yes, it would be fairly easy to get access to the temporal gate for a small excursion. You would need a way to. Well, no, you wouldn't need a way. You need both Anna and Xavier to go because one of you would have to pilot the ship back. Who is piloting the ship back?
I will.
Okay. Xavier, your first thought when you get on the ship, roll me a piloting check, please. No penalties.
Okie dokie. Come on. Dice. I succeed by 92. 29.
Okay. The ship is not in the best repair. This is your first time seeing it. Actually, it was. Yeah. It very much once you enter it, it's very clear that, especially to your backgrounded eye, this is a pirate ship. Everything in this ship is built for speed and cargo space and weapons.
Hey, that's kind of like our ship.
Yeah, very similar. However, where your ship is more designed for smuggling, this ship is more designed for overtaking and
more weapons.
Exactly. Yeah. They're not very high quality weapons. It's not a very high quality ship, and it's not in the best condition or repair. It should make the trip, but you might have to roll a piloting check once you get through the gate when you're fighting the gravitational forces. You should be fine, but
it should be fine. I got this.
But second chance, this is not.
I did. Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. I'll have to get used to inertia. Okay.
All right. So roll me one more piloting check, please, as you go through the gate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It don't matter.
I think I made it. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the ship is. Put Xavier behind it, and he can fly it.
As long as it's not like a battle cruiser, I can't fly that.
Right. You are able to get the ship back to Zebron, and I'll make it quick. You guys take it to a ship dealer. What kind of ship dealer are you looking for? Are you looking for a more independent, small-timey ship dealer? Are you looking for one of the big companies?
I want to find a ship dealer that has the word ship in its name. It's like a pun. So, like, for ship's sake, or no, I'm just fucking with you. To actually
you find one that has you have one that has two ships and an arrow that says "ship it."
Yep. Oh God, really? I like my one.
Well, yeah, I was trying to make one worse. That was the
point. I'm just teasing you, Squee. Oh no, guys. My thoughts is if we go into one of the lower folks, there'll be less questions, and we might get less money, but it'll be out of our hair a lot easier, right?
Yeah.
The little guys tend to not haggle as much. I think. I don't know. I'm just assuming.
Well, they also tend to not, like, extremely lowball you.
True. Because they know they have competition with the big guys.
Yeah, exactly.
So, hopefully that answers your actual question, Squee.
Also, Xavier, and I'll just point this out again because of your background. You don't have papers for this ship.
Yeah, it's salvage. We're gonna sell it
Right.
as salvage.
Exactly. So, all right. So you're gonna find a smaller ship dealer.
Yeah, salvage ship, used parts, something. Someone will tear it down and use the parts for something else.
Got it. Given the quality of so basically, you find a small, like not a junk dealer, but definitely a used ship who is the type of place that we'll pick up your ship even if it's not running, kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, like the care people, like the Kidney Foundation.
And you can park it, and you get out, and you see you're approached by a short, squat man with wearing some like denim overalls and a fairly wide-brimmed hat. And he comes up and says, looking to buy or sell?
Sell.
I see. That's beauty over there.
Oh, no, that's not a beauty. That's just a Hulk that we found a little ways back. We decided it had some components in it that were worth some clicks, so we decided to drag its sorry ass over here. That's all.
It's a lot of weaponry for salvage.
Oh, yeah, it was probably used in all sorts of nefarious dealings, which is probably why it has so much damage around it. But please, come with me. Take a look around, examine the weaponry, examine the consoles, examine the engines and the thrusters and anything that you need, and I'm flexible on price.
All right. Give me just one moment while I look up something. Definitely not the average price of ships in 3 Galaxies.
Of course not. That's fine. I'm glad that you don't have the top of your head, because I'd be like, wow, Squee, your wife needs to pay you more attention.
No. Don't have enough time to memorize all this stuff. Yeah. No, that's not the problem. It's a lack of brain cells. That's the problem.
It's a lack of brain cells. Oh, Squee.
Let's see here.
Told you stop smoking that crack.
No.
Well, I didn't listen.
Clearly.
No.
Right,
I need to Google so my GM is a crack whore.
Let's take a look here. Where's the cost?
You know what? In some crazy reality, there's probably some store here on Zebron called Spunk's Junk, and the entire campaign will go full circle.
Nope, nothing like that here.
How about Heart's Parts? How about a religious dealer that calls himself Holy Ship?
Ooh. That's nice. I like that one.
Thank you.
He goes, after you give him a slight tour, he goes, well, it's definitely seen better days, but it is space worthy. It's got that going for it. Pretty banged up, but powerful engines. I'll give it that. And quite a bit of weaponry, which is a bit of a blessing and a curse.
Sure.
I'll tell it to you straight. I can certainly make you an offer on the ship. However, it's definitely going to have to be scrapped for parts. I can't resell the ship like this. No one would buy it. Okay. So I'm willing to make you an offer of 20 million.
22.
He kind of thinks for a second. He goes, what the hell? Never been one for haggling all night. 22.
Oh, okay, great. Xavier says as he shakes his hand, you got yourself a deal. You gotta admit. Xavier's like, I'm coming to this guy all the time. I can get a 10% bonus because this guy is lazy.
You think.
I make a mental note. of this place.
You come at
I'm
8 o'clock
sure
in the
you know.
morning, he haggles with you all day. Haggles with you all day.
I mean, it's one way. It's possible too that he lowballed you, so he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever,
I don't
22
care.
million." But either way, yeah, no, 22
I guess
million
I could
clicks.
have used some skills to be like, is this really how it works? But ironically, I am also lazy, and I don't want to get going.
You guys are a match.
Mm.
Hey, 22
So-
million clicks added to the bank.
Okay, so let me just make sure. Okay, so are we still okay with the splitting up the funds and getting 60, giving 40%?
Wait, we're giving who 40% of what?
Of
Oh,
that.
you mean
The
like
orphans.
the orphans? Oh, of how
Yeah.
much money that we made? Yeah, I guess it's
Yeah.
their shit.
Okay. So
guess.
if that's the case, then we just made that much off of that. And they made that much.
Sweet.
I think that's good enough.
Here's
For
more
a-
money than you have
a
ever
few
seen in your
orphans.
life.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
give
basically.
teenagers more money that they can spend. Looks at Logan Paul. Nothing can go wrong. Oh no.
Just don't get them a vlogging camera.
Yeah, don't fly themselves when I'm sure.
What
Anywho,
we can do is not give them the money, but spend all of that money on them. That should work.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
that would work too. What we could do is make a trust fund and that kind
Yeah.
of thing.
I need to make a small amendment.
Mm-hmm.
God, bad GM. I was not taking into account conversion rates because I was
no,
looking
you
at...
can't take it away.
I
It's our
did
money.
not. No, I was
No.
looking at galactic credits, not clicks. Which
no.
it's 3 galactic credits for every 1 click. So it's
No, you
Alright.
took away a third of our money, you fucker.
2/3 of your money. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
Man.
but otherwise you sold the ship for 60 million credits. Which
That
That seems
sounds-
reasonable.
That's on the Joker, okay?
The dude could be really bad.
They're great weapons. That engine is amazing.
We just
Look at
found that
these
dude's like
weapons,
version
though.
of a ship he's been wanting to build his entire life.
I feel bad. I'm sorry. But
Alright.
Yeah.
So a third of that would be this.
I had to listen to that. That was a fun exchange.
And Xavier stands there for the rest of eternity as he keeps giving him 0.3 repeating clicks.
3.
Hey, round it.
Man, Squee.
Put you in the bad GM jail.
I'm sorry, but I realized you somebody brought it up in the chat, but you bought your used ship, which, to be fair, the second chance was in
Thanks,
terrible condition
George.
when you bought it. No,
George,
I
you fucker.
no, I have that here too because I mean, George, I love you, but I don't take the chat's word for it. But I had
No,
to
but
look
he
it up.
gave you the idea of being like, oh, wait, that was credits.
Let
Shut his
me
mouth.
let me say, I think you've been using credit base for everything, and it's probably just inflation at this point. That's what I'm going to argue for the original.
I actually have not. I really have not been. I've been keeping things in mind. Now,
Alright,
sometimes there might be some
so-
purchases I haven't, but for the most part,
Would 10
I have
mil
been keeping this
seem
one.
like a good call, or do you want to haggle it down to 8 mil?
what are we talking about?
I don't
The
know.
cost of the ship, so I can divide it up, guys.
What you said? You said the third of it's 7.333, right, or 7 mil. So
What's
just
that?
say 8 mil. 8 mil even.
Okay.
Okay, 8 mil even.
8 mil.
To make
even.
maths easier.
Mm-hmm. Because I am a generous GM.
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
telling me that my trunks
Yeah,
cost
sure.
90 credits?
I didn't say everything. I'm saying I meant for big. Okay. All right. Well, Look, in my defense, anything big purchases that you made, I kept conversions in mind.
I'm
but
taking back my 20.
No, I'm not going to sit there and divide everything by 3. But anything big, especially purchases for your ship and the cameras and the things of that nature, I have been taking into account.
Well,
That
I guess it
seemed
works
good.
both ways.
We
Because we
got
got like
millions.
over 10 million clicks, like 11 million clicks, that's like 33 million freaking credits.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid conversion. Let's get away from Sephiroth. I know it's your home, Anna. This shit
This ain't my home.
No, this is just where she was hanging out.
Oh, great.
I'm not
Let's
from
hang
here.
out someplace else. You're not? Where are you from?
She literally said she was
Where
from
you
a
from,
coastal
girl?
town this episode. No.
Yeah, she said she was from a coastal town.
We'll have to have drinks and I'll learn from that later.
Yeah, you guys never asked.
No, I took a note.
Been together for
Over a
days now.
year.
Well-
Okay. Let's not
Not in
rub it
real
in.
time. I think in real time you guys have been together like 7 months.
No, we went on a 6 months journey.
No.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I
been-
said.
It's been
So
over
6
a
We
year.
months.
were not. We were together.
No,
way
no,
more
no,
than
no,
a
we
month
were-
before that.
Yeah, we were together a lot longer.
Okay,
Like,
so
about
maybe a year. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about a year. All right. So that said, so we'll say that you got the ship, you got it back, you sold it. You gave the orphans 3.2 million clicks. Also, Cyber 6 would make the rational
fund?
idea of perhaps put it in a trust fund for them, because
Yeah.
I'm not sure they understand how money works yet.
Yeah, it would be in a trust fund. And most of it would be going to their school, and if they stop going to school, then they only get X amount per month. Yada, yada. What?
You're parenting them. If you stop going to college, you are cut off.
I mean, basically, what? That's a trust fund.
I get it. No, I understand.
Yeah.
So
They need
Um,
parents.
they're-
They're
yeah,
orphans.
they are still technically
Aw.
minors, and okay. So here's the deal, Isaac.
Uh-huh.
You
If
are now their
wanna do-
parent.
If you want to do this, you are going to have to go to a Zebron court, fill out about half a day's worth of paperwork to become
Well,
their legal guardians. Otherwise, you do not have the authority to do any of this.
and that's on you, Isaac. I already have one kid that is a problem. I don't want adoptive kids.
We put them under kid's name.
What does
Otherwise,
Hart
you're just
think
going to have
about
to give
that?
them the credits and cut them loose.
What does Hart think about that?
You're
I
the
mean,
guardian.
Hart's concerned that they seem like very sweet people and she loves them, but they obviously don't know how to. They cannot be considered adults, even though they're old enough really to be adults. They are not mentally ready. So she would say that she personally thinks it would be a very bad idea to just set them loose, and if filling out some paperwork's all you got to do to fix it, then that sounds fine to her.
Yay, Isaac adopted 4 kids.
Well, you didn't adopt them. You're the legal guardian of
Yeah, you're like the Godfather. Not the
Little
Godfather.
Contender.
Their Godfather.
Yes.
They wake
Yes.
up
Looks
with
like
3.2
Finn got
million
some
clicks and a horse head.
competition.
Finn got some Yeah, okay. Then, yeah, sure. Isaac will be their legal guardian. I'll need to
Oh, man. All right.
keep in mind to check on them every once in a while.
So with that, you now have the authority to set up a trust that will basically dole out the money in an appropriate manner. Obviously, like, pay the school, give them some spending money, et cetera, et cetera. With 3.2 million clicks, they will be fine. It's like 40,000 clicks a semester plus, spending money. So they will be more than fine for quite some time. Also, you can set it up into the paperwork to where when they reach a certain legal age, as long as they've been going to school and whatnot, they will become adults and have full access to their money. So that theoretically speaking, Isaac, assuming nothing horrible happens to them, you could just put them in the school and go and never have to worry about them again. Does that make
You
sense?
Put them in private school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that's what you're going to do, but legally speaking, you're only liable for them if there is a death, a problem, an issue, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So
That
lots
sounds
of
good.
reasons. Lots of reasons.
I actually might want to check up on the Huskies every once in a while because they were great.
Sure.
But
Oh, yeah.
We have favorites.
They are the most
we have
grateful,
favorites.
actually. They are the most grateful. The one that was called, hang on. Verlud seems the least grateful. He seems very melancholy, very unsure, very kind of nervous. Churro, the human, she seems kind of whatever. Like, she's the kind of girl you're getting the impression that if she knew what My Chemical Romance was, she'd be a fan. But Gundan Juns and Bunfa Na are incredibly happy, appreciative, and kind of sad that you guys are going.
Sweet. I wouldn't say that. That was out of character.
All right. And
Okay. In character, he would tell them that he will check up on them every once in a while, but he can't be around all the time.
yeah, no, they completely understand. And all of them
I
at the
am
very
abandoning you.
and all of them at the very least understand too that this is probably the best place for them right now. Oh, also I would say that this fund would also pay for the counseling that they would undoubtedly need after a life of servitude to violent pirates.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, fair.
So-
yeah.
Oh yeah, PTSD and all that stuff.
We might want to put Hart in some therapy as well, just saying.
Who knows? So with that, they are taken care of. They will be on Zeberon. You have the ability to go see them whenever you like, but they are in good hands. All things, just like a boarding school, the boarding school technically is now responsible for their well-being, and you're good. All right. What else, Kid? What are you doing during all this?
That's a good question.
She just kind of stands there, kicks some rocks.
I don't know, if you can't
Sorry,
think of
for the
anything,
most
don't
part,
worry
I've
about
just
it.
been drawing Kid in old timey swim trunks.
I adore that, by the way. You should totally post that. in the chat
Priorities.
somehow.
Priorities, yes. Anyways,
You need to put that on Rifty, Phil. For people need to see
The
that.
stream can see it now, so ha!
Nice.
there we go. All right. But oh god, Kid's mostly gonna be like fussing over everyone else, because like they aren't good at fixing things, but they can make damn sure that the people who are supposed to be fixing things are doing it right. And they're also going to be like hovering constantly over Cyber 6.
Okay. Cyber
Well,
6
not
actually,
over, obviously, but like
around.
shadowing him very
He
closely.
seems fine for the most part, as far as you can tell. He does actually ask. At one point, he would come up to Kid, and keep in mind that Cyber 6 this entire time has been in his base form. Without his exoskeleton that you're used to seeing him in,
Which
so
is
much
really
skinnier.
weird.
Yeah, he would come up to Kid probably within the first few days, and he would say, "Kid, I need your help. It's very important.
What is it?
Just come with me." And he will lead Kid halfway across Zeberon
Oh god.
to a little kind of out of the way chop shop.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd go in there and he'd say, "Hey, Phil, I brought my artistic designer."
Oh god.
And he'd look at Kid and he'd say, "So I have an arrangement with this gentleman to make my exoskeleton, since, as I'm sure you understand, I can't just generally wear body armor the way that most people around here can. And he is very skilled and very talented. I need you to design my next set."
Kid opens their mouth and then they close it again and then they think for a little bit and then they look at him and goes,
You traveled into the blackness of nothing to come find me. I would be honored if you would design what I wear next.
They just give him a very firm nod, just like totally serious in the zone kind of look. And they're I don't know if he like asked them to bring a sketchbook with them or if there's like papers there, but
There's
they're
papers there.
start.
Yeah,
They're
Indigo
gonna start
would have
working
already
on
been there. She would have papers ready for you.
Perfect.
Colored pencils too.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I just had this image of like completely serious kid sketching furiously, tongue sticking out.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much just like there's like a workbench and like drafting tables or something. They're just on the floor surrounded by a rainbow of crayons and just coloring away, and everyone's like, oh boy.
What have we done?
Exactly.
No, Indigo is. The guy named Phil certainly is. He keeps kind of looking over your shoulder and squinting. Cyber 6 seems to have absolute faith.
Oh, this is very misplaced. Oh boy. There's gonna be several drafts. Indigo's probably going to be the biggest veto because it's going to be like really big, like beefy armor that's got like spikes on it and just total overkill. And finally, it's gonna be narrowed down to like relatively close to what he had before, but it has more of like kind of more of like an intricacy to like the weave of the armor, and it has more of like not quite like a tribal, but more like sort of ornate armor.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not so much like actual like metalwork design, but it's how everything interlinks. It's explaining.
I know what you're saying.
Weird.
Almost like chainmail kind of a look, right?
Kind of. It's I don't know. It's how everything like overlays that there's kind of a pattern to it that gives it almost like an organic flow.
I see. Okay. I completely understand. Are there anything of note like big spikes, shoulder pads, things of that nature?
I'm pretty sure like after the 5th time, Indigo's like, that seems a little much. They're just like, fine.
No, not really. So here's the thing. Indigo would tell you, like, she'd give you direction on, like, all right, maybe he's not going to wear giant bulky armor. Cyber's more likes to be kind of fast. But as far as aesthetics go, Cyber 6 has made it very clear that no one is to tell Kid what to do.
Oh my.
So if Indigo makes a suggestion, it would only be that, like, he's not a tank. He's not gonna walk around in massive tank armor, because you've seen how Cyber 6 fights and moves. He's fast, mobile, and but other than that, she would make very like ooh, and every single time Cyber 6 would look at her and shake his head.
The squint of disapproval. Oh my god. Gentle reminders that this is not your armor, Kid. This is for Cyber 6. Right. Erases 10 more spikes.
So I tell you what, if you want, you can kind of take the week and think about it, and we'll go over it at the beginning of next session to see what. So the only request he would have is that he'd like to still be able to wear a poncho and sombrero.
Oh, of course. Which is why most of the spikes have to go anyways. They start to draw it, and then they're like, no, wait, that's not where it goes.
With that, is there anything else that you guys wanted to do here on Zebron?
No, we just gotta find a place with a Nexus, deal with that, pause, and then go.
Okay.
To Frontier.
I'm good.
We can.
I'm good.
We can handle that very quickly. Suffice to say, you'd very easily find out that, believe it or not, there are plenty of, I hesitate to call them public transportation, but certainly shuttles that can ferry travelers back and forth to any nexus point they desire. So really, for the low cost of about 600 clicks, you could just purchase him transportation to a nexus. Would that be acceptable, or?
I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Okay, so you can make the arrangements. You'd have to summon Boz out of the necklace. Who is there when you summon Boz out of the necklace?
Kid's
Fuck
the
this
one
guy, I'm
taking him
drinking.
out.
Okay.
I'll be there. Someone's got to smooth talk this guy if he starts to balk at it.
All right. So you summon him out, and the mist form appears, and Boz appears wearing a very, very nice looking black and gold that almost matches skin tone silk robes. And beside him, the mist also coalesces into a light blue skinned female with long white hair.
Wow.
And black mirror-like eyes. And he goes, well, that took a while. Is this, and he looks around, Cyrene?
No.
No, not yet. But as per our agreement, we were to give you a conveyance to Cyrene to make sure you're able to get to there, and we're going to be doing that right now.
Ah, he says, looking a little disappointed. Right, well, I suppose a contract is a contract. So, what am I to do? Is there a wizard that is going to teleport me there, or what is the plan here?
Xavier looks around. I wasn't here for the part of the plan. I was just here present. What are we doing with this guy?
Okay, so here's what you do. Isaac's going to motion to Boz. You get in here. And then they will take you to a nexus. And then you go over there. You get here, they take.
He raises an eyebrow. He raises an eyebrow at Isaac, and he goes, I'm not sure if you're trying to be sarcastic, but you're failing miserably.
The idea is that you said the biggest thing that was stopping you from getting where you need to go back with Cyber 4 and their little Dyson spheres, that you had no ley lines, no magic energy whatsoever, correct?
Yes.
Well, the good news is that we have now brought to you a place that there is a ton of magic energy. And this shuttle will take you to a ley line nexus point in which you can do what you need to do to transport yourself to Cyrene. We've solved your problem.
He will pat the hand of the blue-skinned girl who's actually like entwined her arm around his and go, yes, indeed you did. Well, I will need the coordinates to Cyrene so that I know
Xavier
where to
will
go.
give him the galactic coordinates precisely of where Cyrene is. I have no intention of tricking him. And before he goes, though, Xavier will be like, we definitely didn't put her in the necklace. I'm assuming this is dimensional companions.
Oh no! Chad is a native of the necklace. She's decided to come with me, haven't you, dear? And she kind of just nods her head mechanically. Well then, if Cyrene is everything you say it is, then I believe our business is concluded. If, for whatever reason, it's not, then
I'm sure you'll find us.
indeed.
An exact terrible revenge. But it is everything we said, so we have nothing to worry about. And we might be visiting there again soon, so this might be a farewell forever. We'll see how things work out there.
I must say, this has been very enlightening, and not even it's been more than a little entertaining.
Oh, good.
Come on, Cha, he says, and he goes and boards the shuttle and flies away into the great beyond with a native of the necklace.
The fuck is that even supposed to mean?
I have no idea, says Xavier. Maybe before we got the necklace, people were storing hot blue robots inside of them? And it just makes me want to go there more often.
Kid, holds out the necklace.
You know what? Sure. Just
God.
wait for a minute. Just wait for a minute, says Xavier. I just want to be there for a minute, okay? Then you gotta take me out. Kid, I'm trusting you on this.
Okay.
Okay, put me in.
So Xavier disappears in a cloud of smoke.
Okay, what do I
You
see?
wait a minute. Xavier, you appear to you. It seems almost as if the same second you disappeared. The only thing you remember that you could see was a sense of weightlessness, and even though you couldn't see it, a sense of black mist. It didn't
Even
feel
if I was concentrating
menacing
on hot blue women the entire time.
the entire time. You get the feeling that whatever this is or whatever he was doing is far beyond your knowledge or skill.
When Xavier comes back out, he will say, disappointing. Okay.
Oh, so you didn't get laid by blue robots?
No, I didn't get laid by anything. It just felt like... Did you ever have that situation where you fall asleep and then you wake up, and even though 8 hours have passed, it feels like you just went to sleep?
No.
Oh. Well, I have sometimes. Well,
No.
well, I have sometimes. It's a trick of the brain, right? You don't feel rested. You don't feel really like anything's changed, and you don't want to get out of bed. But unfortunately, time has passed, despite your acknowledgement of your own unconsciousness. That's kind of what happened too, Xavier says. And before he looks towards Anna, and it didn't have to be blue women at all. I'm not saying that's the only thing I desire or passes my time, but clearly this demon or whatever he has powers, or he's powerful enough to kind of break beyond that unconscious. I felt like I was in a stasis field, honestly. So, regardless, I prefer the land of the lemming. Lemming?
Xavier walks to the closest cliff and jumps into the ocean.
Oh no! Oh no! I came back with a speech impediment. Help me, everyone! I can't say V's anymore. No, even though I just did. No, Xavier will just say, I prefer real things.
But you were still imagining blue women.
Well, I thought it was like a trick of the mind, Xavier says. I thought, what he said, he said, listen, Anna, we just saw a blue woman come out, so I was just assuming there was a bunch of them in there. That's a fair assumption, right?
Hey, they could be green as well.
Okay, or all the colors of the rainbow. That's fine. The point... You know what? Let's
she
just
has
move on.
shit-eating grin.
Yeah, Xavier, this is a very rare occasion where he's getting flustered. So he quickly...
And Anna's not.
I know. What is going on? This has turned into an opposite world. Quick, Lucas, make her into a Muppet. Make her stop smiling.
we can go ahead and draw the session to a close there.
Yeah.
If I understand correctly, you guys are going to start gearing up to head back to Frontier to find Xavier's daughter, turn in the golden orb to fulfill the promise, and whatever else you choose to do while you're there.
Yes. Yeah. Now that's 500 years in the freaking past, right?
It is indeed, sir.
So we'll have to go through a temporal gate. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be great to go back to where we were.
Couple of things that you guys could decide on, so that to speed things up. You will want to exchange some of your currency, except for Xavier, who I think has kept some. I
kept pretty much all of mine.
Yeah, as credits. So
I wasn't dumb. I knew we were going back.
But yeah, we could very much head that way next session. So we'll see everyone next Wednesday when we bring this back full circle and go back to where it all started, Frontier Station.
Not for me.
Reasons, though.
Mm-hmm.
Quiet, Muppet.
Oh,
Thank
God,
you guys
I
for
love
watching.
that picture. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.
Disappointed.
Disappointed.